Listen, Michael, we can't talk about So I Married an Axe Murderer all day.
Well, Brian's not here, so
I mean, you know, we could, but that's a different podcast.
That's true.
That's my sister podcast. We watch So I Married an Axe Murderer every day for a year until we kill ourselves.
I'd watch that.
But this is the RageSelect podcast right here on RageSelect Time. Jeff.
And I'm Mike.
Mike Myers? No, different Michael.
Different. There's all kinds of Mike Myers out there.
Yeah.
Serial killer ones, ones in movies about serial killers.
Yes. Yeah, the podcast. Here it is.
Yes.
It's back again. The caffeine hasn't really started to kick in yet.
Yeah, I'm just slowly getting caffeine in my system for the first time in like a week.
Oh my God!
Actually, that's not true. I had it last time.
Michael, you got to calm down, man. You got to calm down. You're too much. Too much, guys. Yeah, we were real weird. We were real weird news week this week because we have like a couple of really big stories and then a bunch of little stories instead of like a whole bunch of little stories or like one big story. We got like two big stories and a bunch of little stories. But
it depends on how big they are for you, the listener.
Yes. But before we get into all of that, so last week, Michael, I was trying to figure out something to watch to talk about for my thumbnails. That's why I watch movies, is really to put stuff in the thumbnails.
Yeah, of course.
It's not for pleasure. I don't enjoy any movies or TV shows at this point. It's mostly just to put in the thumbnail. I watched a really fucking weird movie. It came out in Korea in 2023, and then it was released here in 2024. And it's like, I don't know if you have this. Do you have a list of movies on your computer? You open up the Windows sticky notes and you just start writing stuff down in there.
No, I've thought about it, but the problem is I know so many movie people that I would never get through that list.
I have a kind of a different. I mean, because everybody knows that my movie tastes just go like all over the goddamn place. No, I watched this movie called Sleep, which is something
familiar.
Something that I don't do enough of. And it's this Korean movie, and it's got the guy who was like he was the rich husband in Parasite.
Oh, okay.
And then the guy who directed this was like Bong Joon-ho's production assistant or something. And it was a really strange movie. It's about a guy. It's like a husband and a wife, and the wife is pregnant, and the husband, like, he keeps he's like sleepwalking and doing like really weird shit while he's asleep, and it just kind of keeps like escalating a little bit, like at a time, to the point where they're not entirely sure like what the fuck is happening, like this is like brain damage or something, or what is happening. And it was good. It was a very small movie. Like, if you look at the Wikipedia, it's got like 7 actors in it. Like,
okay.
And it's kind of it's like a little bit supernatural, but I would maybe classify it a little bit more as like a thriller than like actually a horror movie. It's not like a bunch of monsters jump out or anything.
Well, yeah, because it's more of like a psychological thing, is what you're saying.
Yeah, like it's unclear. Nobody's sleeping. Like whether people like should be afraid of each other, and like I really like the performance by the husband because. You know, when he's awake, he's eminently reasonable. He's just like, I'll do whatever you want, man. Like, whatever you want me to do. Do you want me to like sleep in the car? Do you want me to go somewhere else? Do you want me to check into a hotel? But the wife is like really obsessed with like keeping their family together. But then there's like this weird tension, and they have the baby. It's a whole fucking thing. But it was really interesting. It was a small, it was a little movie. It was only about 90 minutes long, and it was solid, I think. I mean, just a solid little movie that was interesting. Something I haven't seen before. So, yeah. And then I tried. It turned out that the same guy. Apparently, that guy, like, I don't know what we're supposed to say on YouTube to not get content ID'd. Like, he's not alive anymore because of his own actions.
He unalived himself.
I hate that. I don't want to say that. I hate that term. I think the term sounds so stupid.
It is. That's why it's not demonetizable, because it's a dumb fucking word.
In Roblox. He
unrobloxed himself.
He unrobloxed himself. And I'm not sure what was going on with the guy. He was in a bunch of different movies, and they were all pretty good. But he was also in an Apple TV show called Mr. Brain.
Huh.
And
that's interesting.
It came out in like 2023 or something like that. And I tried watching that one, but it was a little slow. It was like this guy that built this device to like look into the brains of other people, but it only works on dead people. This was in like the first episode, so I don't know if it eventually starts working on live people. It seems like you really limited your scope of your science if you could only do this to corpses that have only been recently deceased.
Yeah, it sounds like he needs to talk to the Riddler, because the Riddler knows how to make that shit work.
But yeah, it was fun. It was interesting. And it's on Hulu. You can just watch it.
It's a Hulu movie?
Yeah, it's just like 90 minutes. It's on Hulu.
I might watch
it's a pretty quick watch. It goes pretty well. The pace, I love 90-minute movies so much because you can't fuck around. You can't have long drawn out A24 scenes of the Norwegian countryside because no bitch, things have to happen. We got to get going.
Yeah, and then you're just in and out because a lot of people take for granted the 90-minute movie.
Yeah,
they used to be everywhere.
Yeah,
but now every movie is like 8 hours long with somebody staring at a wall for 30 minutes.
Yeah,
but it's supposed to be artistic.
Well, you just get a real sense of when you look at the wall for a long time. It just it fills you with a lot of dread, and I'm like, no, it fills me with impatience. Come on, jump scare me, bitch.
One of my favorite memes I ever saw about something like that. It was a guy watching Better Call Saul or something.
Yeah,
and he accidentally paused the show, but he thought it was a scene where it just focuses on fucking Saul for 3 minutes, and he's like, this is brilliant, and then he's like, wait a second.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. So anyway, Sleep, 2024, pretty good. I mean, technically 2023, but whatever. How about you, Michael? You've been watching anything? You've been doing anything? Playing anything good?
Well, normally I would talk about whatever I was watching or whatever game I'm playing, but I actually want to bring up something else that I thought was fun.
Oh, okay.
It's an Elseworlds comic that got delayed for a long time, but they finally finished it recently. Called Superman: The Last Days of Lex Luthor.
Okay.
It's this great story.
Wait, does Lex Luthor have a giant battle axe on his chest? Did he turn his tie into a katana?
He does not, although that would be amazing. No, it's a story by Mark Waid.
Okay.
It's about Lex Luthor comes to Superman. He's like, look, I was doing this dangerous experiment to figure out how to murder your face, but it blew up in my face, and now I'm slowly dying, and nothing I can find can cure me.
Yeah.
And I want you to cure me. And he's just like, I don't know. He's like, come on, Superman, don't be a dick. And so he's like, fine, I will help cure you, mass murderer Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
He's like, by the way, I recorded this for the entire planet to see because now they know you're going to help a mass murderer survive. And they're all pissed off at you. He's like, this is bullshit. And he's like, but I'm still going to help you because I'm fucking Superman.
Yeah.
And so the story, for the most part, is just about Clark taking him to different places to be like, okay, we need to we're going to take you to Oa. They'll check up on you. Oa's like, we don't really know what's going on. He takes him. He keeps taking him to different places, and everybody's like, I don't know what the fuck to tell you.
Yeah.
My favorite part is he's like, okay, I have an idea. I did this for Mon-El once. I'm going to throw you in the Phantom Zone. That'll stop time essentially on your body, so you don't have to worry about doing anything. But Lex Luthor pisses off the Phantom Zone people so much they psychically force Lex Luthor out of the Phantom Zone. Wait, now is this so fucking funny?
Is this that reprint that or no? You said this was an Elseworlds.
It's an Elseworlds, but I think it's part of the Black Label.
Okay,
I think is the name of the label that they call it.
Johnny Walker Elseworlds. What are we talking about?
Well,
what is that?
There's certain stories they call the Black Label because it has more adult themes. I guess is the way they do it. Most of the Black Labels are insane. Yeah. The Black Label is the one that had Batman's dick in it that one time.
Oh, good.
And but this one's like a normal Black Label, but it's basically an Elseworlds.
That's a tagline there. The Black Label. We have Batman's dick.
Yeah, and they had his dick so hard that the internet exploded, and when they reprinted it,
Michael,
when they reprinted it, they removed it because people were like, I can see it. It was so fucking insane. But no, it's a great fucking story because Mark Waid knows how to write a really good Superman story.
Okay.
And by the time it's done, it's got this a really interesting climax with a kind of heartbreaking ending.
Okay.
But that's what it works. That's why it works. It ends in the way that only a Superman comic can end.
Okay.
Kind of thing. It's 3 large issues kind of thing. I forget the artist's name, but he draws these very detailed things. The rumor is that he most likely is the reason it got delayed. Because the art sometimes takes a bit.
Let's see if I can figure
because the first issue came out, I want to say a year or two ago, and then issue 1 and 2 or issue 2 and 3 came out within an immediate succession.
It's Brian Hitch.
Brian Hitch, yes,
yeah.
Brian Hitch draws amazingly good stuff.
Yeah, he's real good.
And so the rumor is that he most likely is the reason it got delayed.
What? No. Okay. So what? I've always heard. Who's the guy that did all the Excalibur comics? Was that Brian Hitch?
It
looks very similar to
maybe.
him. I remember him from Authority.
Okay. Yeah, he's done a lot of really good stuff on DC.
Oh, and he did a lot of the Ultimate stuff, right?
Yes.
He did the original Ultimates.
He did the original Ultimates.
He's the one who drew the does this A stand for France?
He is.
Whatever.
He's that guy. And so, yeah, him and Mark Waid did this really great Superman story. And like I said, it just ended like last month.
Death's Head. That was one of the first times that I think I saw him was Death's Head.
I know
think.
he did some Justice League stuff too.
Death's Head is such a fucking weird. That's a weird fucking comic.
It's great though. I highly recommend it for you guys who like Superman. And if you don't like Superman, I think it's a good idea.
Okay.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's only 3 issues too, so.
Wow, he did a lot of stuff.
He's done a lot of fucking stuff.
Boy, Mark Waid and Brian Hitch, that's like a that's just like a recipe for cranking. Like, I'm surprised that it was delayed because that feels like who did the was it Jeff Loeb that did like the Ultimate Spider-Man stuff in the beginning? Or no, wait, who was that?
Bendis. Yeah.
Bendis
Was
no,
doing
but
that.
it was the artist.
Oh, the artist?
Yeah.
I used to know his name. Fuck.
That guy is just like a workhorse, man.
What the fuck is his name? I should know this. I know Mark Bagley eventually did it, but I don't think it was him.
Wasn't it him at the beginning?
I don't remember. I don't think he was at the beginning of it. I remember him doing the majority of it.
Anyway, I don't know. Like, I really like, yeah. Well, that's
That's
it was him.
the new one, but I think it was Mark Bagley.
I think it was Bagley, yeah, initially.
Because that guy's a workhorse.
Oh yeah, him and Brian Michael Bendis are just like cranking shit out.
The funniest thing about Mark Bagley is that he used to draw like adult Spider-Man like really, really well.
Yeah.
But he did Ultimate Spider-Man for so long he doesn't remember how to draw him as an adult anymore.
he's only a skinny teenager at this point.
because he's come out with like variants for like Amazing Spider-Man. I'm like, why is he a teenager in this?
Yeah, well, that's really interesting. I really liked. Did you ever read? Not to this isn't the So I Matter an Axe Murder podcast, but it's also not the like Spider-Man podcast as much as you would like it to be.
No, I could easily make it that.
But did you ever read Astro City?
I started it, but I never finished it.
Okay, I mean, I've only like it's a place where there's plenty of stopping points,
Yes.
right? Like the beginning is like an anthology that starts with their Superman variant, and then the second volume is kind of their Batman, the Confessor stuff.
Yeah, because I read them in the library years ago, the first two, and then I couldn't find, and then I never went back to it. I meant to because
I think you would like the
they're
third
really
one because the third one is the hero Jack in the Box, who's basically Spider-Man.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've been meaning to go back because they're all really good from what I hear.
I only read like the first 3 trade paperbacks, but anyway, enough of that. Go read Astro City. I don't know, or don't, whatever. But let's jump into it because we got a lot to get through. So we got our okay. Oh, wait, hold on. Before we get into this, wait. I have something I have to say real fast. I have something I have to say. Sorry. I meant to do this. The several podcasts ago, I was talking about that, like, there was a study that was about the gaming habits of people.
Oh, you were doing a retraction.
I did a statistic wrong. Like, I had read in this article that it was like only 8% of PC gamers played a game that came out in 2024. That was incorrect. I read that stat incorrectly. The actual stat was that only 8% of the time that PC gamers were gaming were of games from 2024. So that's, it's possible that may include multiple games for 2024, right?
Yeah.
They could have played Balatro for an hour and then Counter-Strike for 600 hours or whatever, right? But that's a little bit less dire than the only 8% of people played any game that came out in 2024.
It's still a pretty low stat, though.
It's still not great.
It's a super low
not
stat.
Great. And that's the same for the consoles as well, that were about 15%. It still shows the trend that I was trying to talk about, which was that a lot of people are just playing older games. They're playing games that are already out. They're playing live service games. They're playing a lot of games. They're not spending the money on the brand new game that just came out.
There's also a lot of trends of people just waiting for something to go down in price.
Absolutely,
probably.
that too. So I just want to get that out there. I was wrong. Let it never be said that I was actually surprised. I thought back in the olden days, I feel like I would have had a whole bunch of people up my ass about just like, can't believe it, Jeff didn't. You read the fucking thing wrong. And I was like, damn, you guys didn't even get in my ass. My ass is completely empty.
But it's because it's all grandmas now, Jeff. The grandmas don't care about statistics.
It's just the nanas. Nanas don't care for statistics. Anyway, all right. On to this week, it was the worst kept secret in all of video games, and I think this is actually pretty much a abysmal, atrocious way to do a game launch. Not just because people were up my ass about why wasn't Jason on the show, and I was like, Jason was on those repo videos, and they didn't tell me this was only a rumor that they were going to fucking not a single trailer, not a single pre-order, nothing. Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered came out.
It just appeared.
It just appeared, even though it had been widely rumored. But I can't believe, why wouldn't you...
Give it like a week or so?
Like, just, put this thing out, let a little bit of excitement build up. I mean, I guess, it's great, like, that it just came out the same day. But by the same token, it was like, what a weird fucking marketing strategy from a company that needs game sales, right? Like, I guess there's maybe an idea to be had there with this. Just like, if you put it out on the same day, it's like, holy shit, what a surprise. But like, I'm sure that there are probably people in this world who a month from now I'm going to talk to and be like, did you enjoy the Oblivion remaster? They'd be like, there's a fucking Oblivion remaster? When did this happen?
Oh, it's easily, I think that's happening still now.
Yeah.
People are like, why are people talking about Oblivion again?
Right.
Like, I feel like I've seen comments like that on like images of the, because I found out not even through the trailer. I found out because people were making fucked up faces for characters.
That looks like an Oblivion face.
And I was just, and people were like, it's just like the old one. I was like, I'm confused. And I was like, oh, they released the remaster for this thing.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So we got a 20-minute video, and I mean, I don't know, just like if you want to watch people suck Bethesda's dick for almost half an hour.
100%.
Like, so much of this is just talking about like, oh man, I just can't believe I remember every step I took at Oblivion. It was the formative thing. I named my kid Oblivion. I fucking dated a girl named Oblivion. I called my car Oblivion.
My son Oblivion Jr.
Yeah, so they show, like, there was a bunch of leaked shit. They show a bunch of stuff where they show the old game and then they show, here's the new game. Oblivion was it a console exclusive for the 360?
Console wise, I think it was only a 360 game.
Okay, so I don't think it wasn't ever on the PS3.
No, it was a 360 only thing.
Well,
at the time.
That would explain why I didn't play it. I didn't get a 360 until like a year before it was donezo. Like,
yeah, it was a big deal at the time. People were very confused and a little upset at the time, but they were like, well, PC gaming, that sort of thing. They figured it made sense to go that way.
My PC was never strong enough to run it, and I had a PS3 up until way into my spill days, so that would explain why I haven't played this thing.
If I recall, that's what the idea was.
Or wait, was it? Yeah, it was 360. The Morrowind was Xbox. Wait, did it? Okay, yeah,
we just look it up before you all yell at us. Before your nanas get very upset that we're getting the statistics
wrong. Grandma, hold on for just a second. I'm sorry. I don't want to anger you. No, it says PlayStation 3.
Does it?
Yeah.
No, okay. I guess I was wrong. Maybe it came out on that first is what I'm thinking.
Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. It was in 2006, and then, yes, it was a year later in 2007
that's when it came out. The problem is I didn't have a PS3 until way after the fact.
Right. Yeah, so, okay, for anybody who hasn't been paying attention, they remade Oblivion in Unreal Engine 5. They did a lot of work on it. They kept a lot of funky, crazy, silly stuff. A lot of people are having... are just like having a time with this right now. I can get why that is. Like, when they put out... the Dark Souls remaster for the PS5. That was great. The Demon Souls.
There are very fun remasters that are out there.
Right. Sometimes if a game, if you love an old game and you played it an awful lot and then it comes out as a remaster and you're just like, holy shit, that's great. I personally don't have any history with Oblivion.
There's an ex-executive producer named Alex Murphy.
Yep.
RoboCop worked on this game?
RoboCop worked on it.
How come nobody told me this?
I didn't really see what the charm of the game was, but I'm also like drowning in video games right now. Like, I'm just drowning in games. There's so many games out right now. There's so many games that are coming out in like a week or two that it's like, do you want to go back and play an old RPG? And I'm like, not really.
Some of the charm comes from the jank.
Yeah.
But that's a nostalgic type of thing. Like when you play a game that has that jankiness to it that you're like, it's just like the olden times type of thing. And I was talking to you about this before we recorded, which is that I found out that people really like it because of the mechanics that are in there that were taken out for Skyrim.
Right.
And so people are like, oh, this has so much more in-depth mechanics than I realized.
Yeah.
And so some of them are praising it for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
The problem, as we've talked about as well, is that that doesn't mean that the combat all of a sudden became fluid.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something about it, like the non-human characters look very cartoonish. The elves and especially the Argonians and the Khajiit all look a little bit cartoonish. I don't really have any dog in the lore fight either. They're just like, why are there only 9 gods instead of 8? And I'm like, were there 8? That wasn't the part of Skyrim I was paying attention to. I was fighting dragons and shit.
Yeah, most people didn't actually play Skyrim for its story.
Yeah. But this looks like a pretty good remaster. I would like to say that I'm a little mad at it seems like it has all of the Unreal Engine 5 issues.
Yeah.
Grainy around the edges, variable frame rate, lots of hitching as it loads in for an open world. I'm really fucking sick of Unreal Engine 5, Michael. I think it's balls. Like I think that it's balls. Like every time they put out a game, they're like, yeah, look at all these remastered shadows. I'm like, bitch, I don't have money for a 5090. Like
it's all the rage, Jeff.
It's all the rage. Yeah, which is not to say this is a bad thing, because you know what? It's also on Game Pass.
Oh, is it really?
Oh yeah, PC and Xbox Game Pass, and it's like $50. So it's not even like,
that's not terrible.
You know, they didn't even like make it into a full 60. Hell, we got a story later on about third-party Nintendo games that are all $80, and I'm like,
oh my goodness.
Well, I mean, come on, if you're gonna put out if you're gonna put out an Elder Scrolls game, and you know. That's a good way to do it, right? You go buy Game Pass. You buy a month of Game Pass. You can play it. You can go. You can play it on, Series X, PS5, PS5 Pro. I don't know. I guess I'm really just. Michael, nobody is forcing me to play this game, and yet I feel the need to have this very long-winded reasoning why I don't really want to play this game. And
more winded, as they say.
Yes, nobody is coming to my house to tell me to play this game. So, but it looks pretty good. I don't know.
Except for Todd Howard, he's probably outside right now.
You said you played this all the way back in the day. But
yeah, it was a very long time ago though, and I didn't play it for long. But I was really bad at these types of games back then. So before people were just like, "Oh, you died to this thing," like, yeah, because I didn't fucking know what I was doing.
Yeah,
I was really bad at these type of games back in the day. I didn't really understand how to play these games till like I was like midway through college.
Yeah,
type of thing. And so once I figured it out, then I fell in love with these types of games. And by now, I generally just don't care about putting that much time into something this intricate anymore.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So that's clearly Chester Cheetah.
I'm glad it exists. I'm glad it exists for people, and I'm glad that people are having fun with it. I'm going to probably stick to the newer games, like that Claire Obscure game just came out, and I've still got Mandragora that I'm working on, and that's not even to mention there's a few other games that are kind of in my backlog. So
yeah, and then they're going to make another Elder Scrolls eventually.
Yeah. I mean, someday.
One of these days. Straight to the moon, they said.
Yep. But it still looks pretty good. I mean, as long as you're walking around in specific places. They did talk about how they went through and they like redid a bunch of the voices so that they sound different for the different. Like apparently in the original, everybody just kind of had the exact same voice lines. And now, like, if you're talking to an Argonian, they sound different than if you're just talking to a Breton or whatever.
So I found out Linda Carter apparently did a lot of the women voices.
Dude,
are
you kidding me? What I found out when I was looking up the Wikipedia today was, how I went to that church and we talked to that guy, the Emperor's son or whatever?
Yeah.
Sean Bean.
That was Sean Bean?
That was Sean Bean.
Oh my goodness.
I'm mad that we didn't try to kill him immediately.
Well, here's the thing is I almost made a Sean Bean joke because I'm like, that guy kind of looks like Sean Bean was my first thought. And then I just never brought it up.
Yeah.
Never occurred to me he was actually Sean Bean.
Anyway, tell me, hey, if you would like to, you could tell me all the reasons why I should play Oblivion in the comments. Try to keep in mind that, like, I'm going to be coming at it from 2025 eyes, and also I play a lot of Elden Ring. So
that's true.
But yeah, let's see. We have a few other things. So yeah, they did do the drop where they dropped it on the same day. Everybody online had a fucking goddamn conniption fit. Like people fucking freaked the shit out over this release.
Well, yeah, they lost their minds, and then they made horrifying faces.
Yeah. There was one clip I saw online that was Darkside Phil failing at the 360 lock picking.
Oh my goodness.
And then failing at the 2025 Oblivion lock picking. It was like, oh goodness.
Poor man.
Yeah. One of the things that I pointed out, there was a famous line in the game where there was like a flub where somebody said their line and then they were just like, wait, I could do better. Hold on, let me do that again.
It's so funny. Yeah, I was surprised they kept it in.
And they left it in. Not only did they leave it in, but now when the person like goes to start over again, because the lip sync appears to be like automatically done. Okay, I got an ad. I was like, what? Bipolar what?
It turns out that's the line. It's about bipolarism. That's why they fucked it up. They were bipolar the whole time.
In the original game, the lip sync stops at the end of the line.
Yeah.
And the character just stands there. But here they just lip sync through the entire thing, through saying the thing, through doing the remaster. I don't know. I'm kind of a person. I'm a little bit weird where I'm just like, I would like the game without the vocal flubs to take me out of it.
Yeah, but that's a charming one. That's the thing. It's one thing to take it out. It's another thing to take out one of the charming ones.
I don't know.
It's because it's so stupid.
Yeah.
That it really sells like why it's really fun to have in it still.
Yeah, maybe.
But if every single line was like that, then yeah, of course you want to take it out.
No, I don't.
It's like the difference between a B movie and like a really good Hollywood movie, in my opinion.
Yeah. It went really crazy on Steam. Huge number of Steam concurrent players, like shot to number 1 right away, even though it's on, which is actually amazing because it's on Game Pass as well. So that means people are actually buying it on Steam as opposed to just playing it on PC on Game Pass.
That's because people know they want to keep that and then try to figure out how to bypass shit to mod later.
Yeah.
You can see some weird shit.
That's true. It's very true.
Every time with Elder Scrolls. Every time.
Yeah. Let's see. Speaking of... we'll come back to you. Speaking of modding, no official mod kit support at all, which is a little bit strange because you would think that would be something, especially because Unreal Engine 5 is very flexible.
It's very flexible.
But they instantly, basically, there's like the official mod kit, and then there's just like,
people
what is it called? The runtime executable, where you just like hack into that shit, start injecting stuff in there.
Okay.
In less than 24 hours, you got 85 mods over on Nexus Mods, including a number of them that apparently all they do is reshade the game. This one doesn't look very good, but like, I think it was at this one. Oh yeah, no, that one was the one. All they do is like reshade the entire game to jack up the contrast and
okay, to make it
and
look
the saturation,
like that original weird shine.
Yeah, to make it look in that kind of uncanny, like
that was the weirdest part about Oblivion.
Super green, super bloom kind of thing.
It was very strange.
Well, everybody forgets about that time in video games where everybody was into bloom. Right?
Yes.
Everything had a bloom on it. That's how you know it's realistic looking.
That's how you know it's the good shit.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's a bunch of mods. Most of the existing mods don't work, but they're, the mod community is rapidly like just throwing shit at this game
100%.
over and over again.
And these are just the ones they can do without intricate shit yet.
Yeah.
And once you see the intricate stuff, you're gonna see some weird shit.
Yeah. Let's see. Also, speaking of weird shit, I don't believe that after 20 years, Bethesda has the gall to try to charge me for horse armor again.
Oh my goodness.
Elder Scrolls Oblivion, for anybody who doesn't remember, was one of the very first games to just get purely cosmetic $3 DLC, and it was just that horse armor.
Yep.
It was just $3. It didn't do anything. It didn't make your horse stronger. It was just kind of cool looking. I remember when I worked in like a warehouse with these guys at this point. There was a day where we spent the entire day just like yelling at the top of our lungs because there's one guy in there who was like, "It's not a big deal," and I was like, "It sets a bad precedent."
It did, as it turns out.
And yeah, it turns out that all these years later, that was no good. But yes, the Oblivion remaster has a $10. It's got 2 horse armors.
$10.
$10.
Inflation is bad.
Yeah. The price of horse armor is through the roof these days, Michael.
Back in my day, horse armor was $3.
It was only $3 and a kick in the nuts.
And we were upset about it then.
Yep.
Now I want to spend $20 on a Mustang in Fortnite when I get paid.
Did you just tell me a story about how you spent a week trying to get Indiana Jones's ripped shirt?
It wasn't even the ripped shirt one. I got his it's his suit. Like he's wearing a suit from college.
Okay.
And he has his hat on from Last Crusade.
Okay.
I can get the ripped shirt though from the deluxe edition upgrade, which I'm gonna have to do later because it has the DLC pack in it.
And then last but not least, I think when it comes to the Oblivion Parade, oh no, we got a few more. I was made aware that there is apparently a mod. This was a mod for the original Oblivion. That this website was just pointing out, that's called Boblivion.
What the fuck?
And all it does is change every single thing in the game to the word Bob.
Oh my goodness.
So it says Boblivion. All of the loading screens just say Bob on them. All of the weapons are named Bob. All of the potions are named Bob. All of the prompts to open a door says Bob to Bob. Everything says Bob all the time. It just all says Bob.
I like how it actually says unknown effect for one of them.
Right.
Everything else is Bob.
Everything else is Bob. That's pretty fun. That's the kind of dumb shit that I like from the internet.
I'm a big fan of dumb stuff like that. Like when the time somebody took Doom and they changed everything into Tim Allen.
Oh yeah.
And whenever you fired, it did the grunt from Home Improvement.
I think in Dark Souls they did one of those with Nicolas Cage where every single texture was replaced with Nicolas Cage's face.
I think you showed that one to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, Jesus.
It reminded me of, there was a Half-Life mod that was called like Yoda Wars or something. It was like everything is Yoda. The characters are Yoda, the guns are Yoda, the bullets are Yoda, the pickups are Yoda, everything is Yoda. And it was interesting because it was like you could tell an enemy combatant from like a health pickup if they had their gun put away.
It was so funny.
So
good times.
And then last but not least, some people may be asking, there was a very popular mod called Skyblivion that was a long-running effort to basically port Oblivion into the Skyrim engine that had been worked on for a long time. And, well, what is the status of that now that Bethesda has released their own remake of Oblivion? And it turns out that, like, I got some problems with Bethesda, but at the end of the day, Michael, Bethesda really likes the modding community.
Oh, they keep those games alive forever.
Yeah.
People still buy these 20-year-old games because Bethesda's just like, do what you want to them. I don't give a fuck. You give us money, you do whatever you want. It's yours.
So the Skyblivion team came out and they said, this isn't going to have any impact on what we're doing.
No.
We're in touch with the people at Bethesda. It's fine. It's going to come out. We encourage everybody to go play the game, and we encourage them to come back and play our game when it comes out, et cetera, et cetera. But here's a nice little story. I know a lot of times we just have nothing but rage-inducing news on this show. Bethesda sent the entire mod team free copies of Oblivion Remaster.
That's so fun. That's super nice of them.
Yeah.
Nintendo would have sent their lawyers.
Yes. I think I have a story later on about Nintendo sending their lawyers to go get people. So, but yeah, all in all, seems like a pretty decent week for. It's going to be weird when all the dust settles and it turns out that Elder Scrolls 4 sold more copies than Skyrim or than Starfield.
That would be amazing. I want it to happen just because it would be funny.
Yeah, the game that they spent all those years working on, and it's just like, nope. I mean, it should also be noted that they didn't make this. This was made by Virtuos.
It also should be noted it's on everything.
Yes.
Whereas Starfield is not on everything.
But Virtuos is the one that's making the MGS Delta, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So, you know, they made a good remake here that bodes well for when they remake a game I actually really want to play.
Yes,
so.
I'm also very excited for that one.
All right. All my passive aggressive snark is done. Let's move on. That was our first big story. Our second big story this week is about Paul Rudd.
I saw this. It was very interesting that they did this.
Yes. So back in the olden days, we're just going to start. We have a lot to talk about the Nintendo Switch 2. Back in the old days, Paul Rudd was it was his first acting gig. A young Paul Rudd.
Was this really his first acting gig?
That's what I read online.
I did not know that.
Was in this. He was in the most 90s advertisement of all time, where a guy in a black trench coat comes into a drive-in movie theater, puts a cart into a Super Nintendo and starts playing the Super Nintendo launch library on the movie screen, and then like from the smoke, the other children sense that there are video games and start running in like the warriors. Or
it is really funny the way they pop up as if they've been called because Gondor needs aid or something.
That's right. And he doesn't even offer to let them play with him. They all just stand around watching Paul Rudd play Legend of Zelda on a giant movie theater.
Well, it turns out he's the rich kid who's like, you guys want to hang out and play games with me?
Yeah.
But they're just there watching him play.
My dad bought the old abandoned drive-in theater, you guys.
No one's going to call the cops on us.
Like, hey, those damn kids are playing Madden over at the old abandoned movie theater.
They're playing them Sim Cities. Psychopaths they are.
So, yeah, they remade this commercial with 56-year-old Paul Rudd
in the weirdest hair.
He's got the long hair like he did when he was a kid. He's got the trench coat. He's got the pink shirt. He's got the beaded necklace. Except now he's playing online, and he's playing with God, who is it? It's Joe Latrugio or whatever from like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and like. Who's the guy that was the psycho guy? He was the Edie guy from
Tim Meadows?
Is that who that is?
I can't tell. I'd have to cut back to him. No, that's somebody else.
Oh no, it's somebody else.
But like I forgot that guy's name. But then it's just like a little girl and
yeah,
and they're
it's like supposed to be like his
whatever.
niece or something.
It's not. It's like it's fun that they did that.
Yeah.
I just kind of wish that a bunch of random kids showed up at his house.
I kind of wish that they'd done a little bit closer to the original.
Yeah.
Where he's in there and then like I don't know, a bunch of 30-year-old men show up.
That would be way funnier. And they all are dressed like those kids or whatever.
Yeah.
But they really want to show off the online for
And
it or
then
whatever.
they just kick him in the nuts and take the Nintendo Switch 2 because it's so hard to get one right now.
It's super hard to get one right now.
So yeah, that was pretty fun.
It was really fun. Also
a pretty
because
fun
it's just funny to watch Paul Rudd in a very awkward outfit.
Yeah, I like the fact he's got a smoke machine. Obviously, they just like they got him the outfit. He's doing this in his living room.
Yeah.
They sent him a free Switch 2.
And
Like,
a smoke machine. They're like, do this shit for us, Paul Rudd. You know you want to.
yeah. All right. Well, you know what? We have a lot to talk about when it comes to the Nintendo Switch 2, Michael. But we have a few minutes because we don't have a lot of news this week. Even though I'm sure that by the end of this we'll be rushing. Can I tell you my story about pre-ordering a Nintendo Switch 2? Because I did it.
I actually want to hear the story. I was going to ask you about it before we recorded, but I would like to hear it on mic now.
Okay, all right. So, I got the email last week, and on what was it, like Wednesday, Tuesday?
It was like Wednesday night because we had just recorded.
Oh yeah,
and you were like, "Does this mean tonight or like
right
tomorrow tonight?" And I was like, "I would say check tonight in case."
So midnight Eastern time, 11 p.m. my time. Switch 2s were supposed to go on order, so I did what you do, and at 11:55, I had a browser window open to Walmart.com, and a browser open to Best Buy, and a browser open to Target. And a browser open to GameSpot. Stop. God damn. It's been years.
Yeah.
So here comes midnight, or here comes 11 o'clock, 10:50. Here comes 11 o'clock. Hit the refresh on Best Buy. It says, I don't know. Hit the refresh on Walmart. I don't know. Hit the refresh on Target. It says, that's sold out. And I was like, there is no possible way that this went from buy me now to completely sold out in the 1 minute between the last time I refreshed this. Like, I know shit sells fast online, but I'm doing the thing, and I know there's stock in this country for me to buy.
That's probably a settings thing in the background.
So I'm like, what the fuck just happened? So I refreshed the other windows. Nothing from Best Buy, nothing from Walmart. I keep refreshing. Finally, Walmart is like, yeah, man, you can put that shit in your cart. So I put it in my cart, and it's like, it just brings up this little thing that says like, oh, there's a lot of heat on this right now. You're in line.
Oh.
Do you want to leave the line or do you want to stay in line? And I was like, I'll stay in line. So I'm just sitting on Walmart's webpage. It's got this little thing in the corner that says you're in line. And like no indication about numbers, time. It just says you're in line. Do you want to leave it? And I was like, well, no. Okay. So then I go back and I refresh Target's webpage. Target, oh my God, it's there. So I say add to cart, and it's like error. And I'm like, add to cart, and it's like error. And I'm like, add to cart. And it went in my cart. And I was like, all right. Hey, you know what? I bought my PS5 through Target, and it worked, right?
It took us a while, but yes.
Took a little while. So then I go to checkout, and it goes to the checkout page, and it's like, enter your shit. And I'm like, okay, here's my shit. And it's like error. And I'm like, okay, I get it. You're overloaded. Enter my shit. As a side note, Michael, it's 2025. I'm starting to get real fucking tired of websites that are like, oh, we're about to have the global launch of a brand new console. Is there any need to add additional like server capacity? Should we do anything? Is there anything? Should we get some more AWS space, get some spillover, like anticipate that we're going to have 1 billion people hitting refresh our website? Nah, it's all right. What if mom wants to buy a rug at midnight? Anyway, that shit goes in my cart. Fine. Enter my credit card. Fine. Hit the buy button. Error. Hit the buy button. Error. It is now like it's now like 11:15.
Yeah.
I go back to Best Buy's website, refresh, nothing. Walmart, you're in line. I was like, okay, don't touch Walmart. GameStop, they're like we don't even give a shit. We're doing this tomorrow. Like, fuck you guys. We don't stay up late here. We're all in bed. We're gonna fucking bed caps on. Okay, hit the buy button. No. Buy, no, buy, no, buy, no, buy, no. Go to my bank. I'm like, are there a bunch of charges? Am I charging my credit card $540 every time I hit this buy button? No, there's nothing there. I hit the buy button one more time, and Target's website says, there was an error. Your order has been canceled. Also, you're not allowed to put another Switch 2 in your cart.
Oh, it's one of those
because
things,
of Scalpers. And I'm like, you fucking pieces of shit. So I go downstairs to smoke a cigarette. I pull out my phone and I go to Best Buy's website. I'm like, maybe I can do it on my phone. And I go to Best Buy's website on my phone, and holy shit, wait, you can add to cart. So I hit add to cart, and it immediately errors. So I throw my cigarette on the ground and a bunch of dry leaves, and I run upstairs, not caring what happens to the rest of the world. And I go to the website, and I put in my cart. It goes in my cart. I hit checkout. It says, hold on. It goes to the checkout page. It says, do you want to pick it up from the store that's by your house at midnight? And I'm like, yes. Yeah, sure. And they're like, okay, give us money. And I'm like, okay. And they were like, congratulations, your Nintendo Switch 2 has been ordered. And I was like, well, it took them like 30 or 40 minutes to actually post it on their website.
Yeah.
But once they did, I was able to order it. However, at that point, I was confused because once I got done ordering, I went to my email to be like, let me just make sure there's an order notification here. Yes, there is. And I was looking at the order notification. I got a new email, Michael, and it was from Target. And it said, your order has been confirmed. I said, what? Dude, wait, no, my order has been canceled. What do you mean my order has been confirmed? So then I look at my bank account, and I notice that Target has charged me $541 and then did like the 3 to 5 business day refund of $541. Also, there was an email that came before the confirmation email that said your order has been canceled. So then I like opened up Target and was like, hey, what the fuck? Waited online for the most... waited for like 25 minutes to talk to the most horrible customer service person I've ever
Oh, they definitely
said.
weren't here, basically.
I was just like, did this order, is this gone? Can you like undo? Because my thought was like, I have a little bit of money saved up, and if I can get a second Switch 2, I could probably find somebody that I know to sell it to.
Yeah.
So they don't have to fight for it. I can just be like, just give me the retail. I don't even give a shit. Like, I'm not a scalper, right? Just do whatever. And they were just kept, I was like, why did this happen? And they were like, our site is very busy. Please make sure to look at the site for more information. I was like, well, did it go through? Because I got both a cancellation and an order, and I've been refunded, but also I can't. And they were like, please check the website for more updates. There's nothing we can do about anything ever. I don't know why I even work here. I don't know why this even exists. We could probably be an AI if all I was going to do is just tell you nothing. So while I was talking to them, they were like, yep, I'm not going to tell you anything. The end. And then I was like, okay, close this chat. I want to be able to rate it. I want to be able to rate this chat. Like, I really want to be able to rate this chat. And then, Michael, after it got done, I refreshed Target's website, and Nintendo Switch 2's there, and I could totally add them to my cart. And I was like, okay, you guys could fucking eat an entire fucking golden corral of dicks. I want nothing to do with you. And so I was like, all right. I have to wait to get my $500 back, but I do have a Switch 2.
Yes.
It is pre-ordered. And you know what I remembered then, Michael?
What's that?
Walmart.
The line?
So I clicked the tab for Walmart, and I was sitting with a Nintendo Switch 2 in my cart with 8 minutes remaining to purchase. Because while I had it like on another tab, it had literally put it in my cart and taken me to the checkout page, but it had like a timer to make sure that I couldn't do it. And I was like, should I do this? And I was like, no, I'm not going to spend $1,500 on Nintendo Switch 2s on pre-order day. I don't even know anybody who wants one. You don't want one. Like,
I wouldn't say no to it, but
$540.
You know, it's still.
I mean, a lot of the people that I know are like, that shit's too expensive. I'm going to wait, and I'm sure that they're going to be back in stock at some point in human history. I don't know. Maybe they're going to go up to $7,000 that I should have bought all 3 of them and been like, haha, I'm retiring, bitches, on $1,400 or $14,000. So anyway, then I went. I ordered the Pro controller from Walmart because Walmart did me. They
did you solid.
I think that little thing where you had to wait should have had some indicator, because it could have just been there forever, and I wouldn't have known. But Walmart did put a Nintendo Switch 2 in my cart, and it was going to allow me to purchase one. So, I got to give props to Walmart. Best Buy, I got to give props to Best Buy. GameStop, I don't know what the fuck you were doing, but Target gets lower than GameStop, 0 out of 100, because they allowed me to put it in my cart and then cock blocked me at the last minute. And not only cock blocked me, but it was like they were like, well, your order's been canceled, so you can't have a Nintendo Switch 2. And I was like, well, do you have any stock left? And it's like, these aren't for you, little man. These are for legitimate customers. And I'm like, what? I bought my PlayStation from you guys. What the fuck, you guys? So
yep, that's how it happens.
That was what happened. That was my story. And now we're going to go ahead and take a break, because we're going to talk about the rest of the internet, Nintendo Switch 2 pre-order in just a minute. So stick around. Be right back. And we're back. And yes, it is time to talk about the Switch 2. I got a whole bunch of Switch 2 news, because
so much.
We got a lot of stuff that happened. I would like to point out that there was an article that I had that was talking about the people that had problems getting a Switch 2. One of them was my arch nemesis, Jeff Keighley, had the exact same problem that I had. He's on Twitter of man, at Target is brutal for Switch 2 pre-orders. System was in my cart, then it wasn't, then it was, wouldn't let me pay, etc. Anyone having luck anywhere elsewhere?
Not even the king of games, Jeff Keighley.
Why isn't Nintendo just sending him a Switch 2? Why does this motherfucker have to sit online refreshing Target.com?
Well, he's only best friends with Hideo Kojima.
Well,
and he's not best friends with fucking Shigeru Miyamoto.
Yeah. Anyway, there was a bunch of fun little memes that went out. A lot of them were basically the exact story that I just got done telling.
Yeah, but from a different
point of view.
Retailer, probably.
So, anyway, okay. So we got a lot of weird shit to go through and not a lot of time to go through it. Let's do this. In Japan, the Nintendo Switch website that had the lottery for pre-ordering Switch 2s that doesn't open for us until later, but was open for them last week, crashed, got fucked up, and scammers went out and started sending people emails that were formatted, phishing attacks that were formatted as you got your Switch 2 lottery. Click this really shady link to pay for your Switch 2.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh Jesus. I looked at one of the links and it was nothing. It was nothing to do with Nintendo whatsoever. So it looks like they finally did get their stuff together and they kind of worked on it. Yeah, there was a Line Messenger app link. I don't even know what that is.
Jesus Christ.
So, yeah, apparently their site flooded. This is what I don't really understand about this one, Michael, is that as I understood it, I thought Nintendo was ready for this shit. And then apparently, no, it doesn't matter, apparently, no matter how much you prepare. You just can't stop the fucking chaos when the pre-orders open.
Look, Jeff, everyone has a plan until they get digitally punched in the face.
Yeah, but at this point, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to open up some kind of web company that builds nothing but an API backend that's if somebody tries, I'm going to hire a bunch of people that are smarter than I am to make a thing that it's hey, I'm going to develop a software where if somebody tries to DDoS you, it could just keep running. If you get 1 billion web requests, I'm going to build something. I don't know. Fucking AI, APIs, SQLs, AWSs. There's got to be something that you could do, because every time there's a huge event on the internet, this shit happens. And it's just and then the internet broke. And it's but why?
So
why, man? It's fucking 2025, god damn it.
So fun story. I actually have some slight experience in this.
Yeah.
So I used to work for a website builder called Illusion a very long time ago.
Yeah.
There actually was a set of protocols specifically for this. That was that if because this happened a lot, which was that somebody would have a website on our site, or on our system, say for instance they sold a book or something,
right?
And say Oprah was everybody loves this book, please buy this book,
right?
It causes the influx of sales and traffic to explode. So what there was is that if the person knew ahead of time, they would contact us, be like, hey, I'm going to be featured on fucking Shark Tank or some shit.
Yeah.
Like in the next like month or not even a month. Like on this day, please increase the amount of server stuff that's going on my site to try to avoid this exact thing.
Yeah.
But the problem is there's only so many servers you can throw up on there that will keep it from bursting the flames, because we weren't Amazon or anything like that.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And I think we had a partnership with Amazon or something. So we would get more space for it.
Yeah.
And it worked out for the most part, because it wasn't like this where, it was like a fucking everybody and their grandma was trying to buy Switch 2.
Right.
But the problem is that I don't know who the retailers have to talk to for that, because this keeps happening.
Yeah.
Every time.
There's no reason this shouldn't have happened this time. Like last time, the PS5, Xbox,
those happened suddenly.
Those, yeah. But at the amount of times that we've gone through this, it's not like something that we didn't know was going to happen. And the idea that Nintendo was just like, well, we got it handled this time. We got a shitload of inventory, and it's like, and it's gone. Like it. So
yeah,
okay.
But this is Nintendo. They don't know how online gaming works. I don't think they know what the internet is.
That's true. So inevitably, with a lot of the pre-orders, we've also seen a bunch of scalping happen.
Yes,
we've got listings on eBay all the way up to from $2,000 and shit like that for a Switch 2. But apparently, the fans are fighting back this time, and the way that they're doing it is they're putting listings on eBay for Nintendo Switch 2 pre-order picture.
Oh yeah,
and it says read the description, and the description is like, this is a picture of my receipt for my Nintendo Switch 2. It costs $500, and I will send you an envelope with a piece of paper in it. No refunds.
Yeah.
I will not refund you. If you do this, you are a bot, and fuck you.
It's really funny because
just flood the zone. Basically,
this is what happened with those video cards. Remember?
Oh yeah,
because that was and people were falling for it.
Right.
It was really funny. I think it happened to the not the PS5, but there was I want to say it was the anniversary version.
Oh yeah,
The PS5 Pro one. I think that was happening to those two, and people were buying them, which is I was just like, you know what, good for you guys.
Well, what I'm wondering is a lot of I looked at one of the listings and it seemed to be talking about bots, and what I'm wondering is are there bots scraping eBay to double scalp systems?
I think that's the idea.
They're looking for Switch 2s that are under a certain dollar amount and then auto buying them as fast as they can, just to be able to then, if you're selling a Switch 2 on eBay for $500, that they've got scraper bots that are looking for those keywords at that price and then auto buying them in order to then scalp them for $2,000.
Yeah.
And that they're basically setting honeypot traps for these things where it's like, oh, your system gave me $500. Enjoy your piece of paper, you dumb shit.
Well, that always seems to be the that seems to be the setup for every time I've seen it.
Yeah.
Because it was working, apparently, because I remember hearing about it working for those video cards, because there's only so many places you could get them, and eBay actually has actual sellers. There's not always people that are bidding. Some people just have their own stores on eBay. That's why there's just some that are just buy it now.
Right.
So I think that's the ones they're falling for, or the ones that are just buy it now ones.
Okay. Let's see. We also got the news that the cost of all of the accessories for the Nintendo Switch 2 is gone up,
which is so sucky.
So this is the tariff thing, and
yes.
Basically, rather than adjust the price, they've adjusted the price of all the other stuff. So Joy-Con controllers were $90, now they're $95. The Pro controller went from 80 to 85, and then the camera went from 50 to 55. They basically just raised the cost of all of the accessories by $5. I don't know. I'm going to say that this, obviously this shit is suboptimal. I spent the last 2-3 weeks complaining about this dumb tariff bullshit that we're going through.
Yeah.
But I kind of think that this isn't a bad solution, because the base unit didn't rise in price. So if you do have to shift the cost somewhere, an additional $5 for a camera is not going to hurt as much as $520 instead of $500 for the bundle system or whatever.
Well, think of it this way: it's the it's the way it works. If you say you buy not Magic the Gathering, actually, yeah, Magic, like any type of game that involves buying your starter pack,
right?
So Magic the Gathering, Pokemon card game, D&D.
Yeah.
Like there's always like a starter type thing that gets you somewhere, which is what the console itself is. And they're smart enough not to raise the price on that.
Yeah.
Because that's how you get because the digital sales aren't going to go up as far as I know.
Right.
Because there's no reason to. And they're very much like adamant that people are just going to buy digital anyways.
Yeah.
With the way things are working. So it makes sense to do that, especially with the fact that not everybody's going to want to buy these things anyways.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, for instance, I know it turns out you don't have this news story is that they're also upping the price of amiibos too.
Oh.
And those are going up by $10 apparently.
Yeah.
But those, those are also optional. You don't need to buy fucking Ryu and Ken things and Luke amiibos if you really don't need them, type of thing. Like, it's all about the games, and they're smart enough to know that, hey, we're gonna get most of our sales from software anyways.
Yeah,
this is the best thing to get from, and if people buy the hardware, they buy the hardware.
It's also something where, I mean, like, again, the best scenario, the best timeline would be if none of this shit ever happened, right? But if you do have to raise the cost on something, stuff like the camera, stuff like the Pro Controller, stuff like other Joy-Cons, like, those are things you can space out a little bit further, right, from the cost. You could still play the system. You could still get it. So, I don't know. Again, it is not optimal. It is 100% not optimal, but, like...
especially with tax and stuff.
I mean, because last week we had the story where Sony raised the price of the PS5 in, like, New Zealand and Australia.
Yeah.
Apparently to cover some of that stuff. And it's just like, dude... No, my guy did that shit. You make it like I know that you. I realize that raising the cost. I'm not asking them to raise the cost of PS5, but if you're going to do that, make the pain come to the people that could do something about it, not like
Jeff,
some other country.
They have to figure out how to deal with Biff Tannen at some point.
Yes.
So.
Let's see. We also got the news that apparently microSD Express cards are selling out all over the place.
I'm not shocked by this at all, to be honest.
Apparently microSD Express cards weren't like a huge commodity. They've been around for a few years now.
Yeah.
They weren't really super necessary for a lot of things, like they, some high-end like photography stuff.
Yeah,
but
they're mostly for cameras and Nintendo stuff, to be honest.
Yeah.
There's no other way to put it.
Yeah.
Like, those are the two main things those things are attached to at all times.
Yeah. But right now, apparently, like, they aren't, like, completely sold out everywhere, but, they're getting harder to find because it's just the knock-on effect of what happens when you have, this. It looks like, okay, listen, it looks like the Switch 2 is going to be a resounding success, regardless of everybody wailing and gnashing and talking about the price. I'm wailing and gnashing, talking about the price. I think that the digital game stuff is bullshit. I think the price of games are bullshit. I really just don't think that that most human beings on this planet listen to the RageSelect podcast, even though they should, and they just don't know. They're just buying the new thing. That's a new thing. I got to buy that thing. I want that thing. Buy it. Like,
here's the thing. We talked about this last time with the PS5 Pro. We were like, the PS5 Pro is really expensive. Who knows who's going to buy it? It sold more than the PS4 Pro did.
Right. It sold like crazy. It turns out it was fine.
It sold really well. Like, it wasn't like, gangbusters, but it was really, really well. Even more than PlayStation was expecting.
Yeah.
And this isn't nearly as expensive as a PS5 Pro. Nope. And it's a brand new. No, it's a fancy new thing.
Right.
It's brand new.
Paul Rudd's got one.
Yeah, Paul Rudd and his niece or whatever have one.
I need one. I want to play Mario Kart with Paul Rudd.
I want to be like the guy from Clueless.
I want to play Mario Kart with Joe Trujillo or whatever.
I would play with that guy.
That's who I really want to play with.
He seems like a cool dude.
So if you can find yourself a memory card, I don't know. I think that your money is better spent, to be honest, on a fast internet connection. That way you can uninstall and reinstall stuff really quickly instead of spending your money on storage. And
not only that, I don't think you need that much storage at the moment because there's 3 games on the thing.
Yeah, let's put a pin in that. We'll come back to it. We also got the confirmation. I mean, I think that this was partially already known, but that the upgrade price for the Kirby and the Mario Party Jamboree and all that stuff is going to be a full $20.
Oh, that sucks.
So those games, the way that it is the way that they're looking at it is those games are going to be $80. Mario Party Jamboree for the Nintendo Switch 2 is $80. Kirby with the expansion for the Nintendo Switch 2, that is $80. So if you paid $60 for the digital version of it, you got to pay the extra $20 to basically give Nintendo their $80. And that's, I mean, I know that those two games both have content upgrades, but damn, man, $20 fucking per, like, it just, it's not shocking in and of itself, but it all starts to add up. It just keeps adding up. Where it's like,
well, yeah, that was the problem. I was talking to somebody about this because they were really upset about it, and they're like, it's weird that they do that. I'm like, here's the thing. You know, PlayStation's been doing that this whole time.
Yeah.
But they've only asked for 10
Yep.
for upgrading like Ghost of Tsushima to the PS5 version.
Last of Us or whatever.
Mortal Kombat 11.
Spider-Man.
God of War. Like all of
Spider-Man
those.
was free?
Well, if
Was
you bought Miles Morales, it was free.
Oh,
but they
okay.
sold one eventually.
Yeah.
But like all of the like 99% of them, you could upgrade
Right.
for like $10. Like even the one that was most like a huge deal was the Uncharted one.
Yeah.
Because all you needed was one of the games. You didn't even need both of the games.
Ooh.
And you spent $10 and it upgraded both of them to their PS5 versions.
Roll of thunder when you said that. You guys can't hear that. Sorry. It's
Lucky coincidence. No, yeah, they so even that version, like that was super cheap. It was like as if it did 5 for both.
right.
This is $20 for like one extra thing to Kirby.
Well, yeah, and then the thing is that, like, you know, when they came out a few weeks back and they were talking about how like the justification for $80, they were like, well, no, it's worth $80. It's worth $80. It's well, like, okay, this is just a better version of your last Mario Party game. Is that really worth $80? Is that really $80 worth of software? Like, I
Not
get
only that, is this? Do we know if this is the Zelda ones too?
the Zelda one is 10.
Okay.
The Zelda one is 10, and I think that the reason for that, but the reason is going to make you.
No, I know what I figured what the reason was. That's
The
why I was
reason
going to
is
bring it up.
because if you buy it retail, it's going to be $80. It was $70 to begin with, so it's a $10 upgrade. Like,
oh no, that's not why I'm upset by it. I'm upset by it because it doesn't come with any of its DLC.
oh well, there is that as well. Yes,
You have to still buy its DLC because even when they do like upgraded version things on PlayStation ones,
Yep.
it usually comes with all that stuff. That stuff came with.
Yep.
Well, this is why it's so annoying.
Yep. And also, I mean, like that. That also, I think, puts a little bit of a lie to the whole thing that Nintendo's been saying about how, like, you know, what Tears of the Kingdom is $70, and well, no, the idea that, like, well, not all of our games are going to be $80. Look, the Donkey Kong's going to be $70 or whatever,
Yeah.
and it's like, yeah, but all these Nintendo Switch 1 games are apparently going to be $80 if you buy them for the Switch 2. And if you have the digital version, if you were a loyal Nintendo customer, well, go fuck yourself. It's still $80, like in aggregate. Like if you go back to that stuff, I don't know.
It's pretty ridiculous.
It's a lot. It's not even the fact that it's totally ridiculous. It's that it's a lot. It's
is
a
a
lot
lot.
all at once. It's here's this system. It costs more than you thought. Here are these games. It costs more than you thought. Here are these upgrades. It costs more than you thought. Here's the accessories. They cost more than you thought. It's all just like, damn, dude, I'm not fucking made of cash over here.
That's the problem I have with the Switch 2. I was talking about this with you off mic, which is that the very first time I looked at everything at the Nintendo Switch 2, I was very much like, this is my jam.
Yeah.
I love everything about this.
Yep.
Everything sounds awesome on this. I get to play fucking Soul Calibur 2 with Link online. That's fucking rad. But then, it's like that fucking Lando fucking Cloud City deal.
This deal
where
keeps getting worse all the time.
Darth Vader just keeps going, I've altered the deal.
Yeah.
Pray I don't fucking alter that shit further. And then he did it again.
Right.
Like with the fucking amiibos and everything going up. And I'm just sitting there like fucking Lando going, this is bullshit.
Yeah. It's time to call your robot man and stage a coup.
Yeah. The Empire's taking over the Nintendos.
So we also got some interesting stuff when it comes to, you know, how some of the games are coming with no game on the cart.
Yeah, it's a key,
It's just
basically.
key, which makes that story about the memory cards a little bit more
Weird, yes.
nebulous, because it's like, well, if everything has to be fully downloaded, then that means I am going to need a lot more storage space.
It's very annoying.
Jamatsu on Twitter came out with a story, and this was a screenshot of a bunch of the Switch 2 games, and this was Suikoden and Wild Hearts and Bravely Default and Kunitsu no Gami, Yakuza 0, Demon X Machina, Sonic and Shadow, Street Fighter 6. Every single one of these is a download only.
Yeah.
Like they all have the strip roll on the bottom that says like these are download onlys. Like there is no game on the cart. Like
yeah, they're not cartridges, they're keys. Like that's what frustrates me. It's like what frustrates me as a physical game collector. I run into this every now and then where the disc is is for show. This happened to me with Indiana Jones actually recently.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones's disc didn't have a lot on it. And then, which frustrated me because it had aired out when because originally I put it in my PlayStation. I was like, this will download and everything that I need as I work. But it gave an error, so I had to wait for 120 fucking gig update,
right?
Quote unquote, because it turns out it was the actual game itself.
Yeah. And
if you have to do that with Nintendo now, that's a major pain in the ass.
But it's also really weird because this was for the Japanese eShop, and they had like that Date's Mystery, the AI Somnium thing.
Yeah.
And in Japan, that was a download only. But then an American one, it doesn't have the strip at the bottom.
That's
like
weird.
Indicating that it's not. Like there were some games that were apparently on that list in Japan as a download only, as a virtual cart, but then like that same game in America was apparently on the cart, and it was like
that doesn't make any sense.
So what now? And like and of course the funniest one is that the granddaddy of them all, Cyberpunk 2077, is on the cart.
That makes no sense.
That's the one, the biggest one.
The one that should be the horrible future one,
right?
Is the one that is on the disc, right? On the cart? That's so strange.
So I don't know, man. Like this is going to be kind of crazy. So
I don't really know how to feel about all this. This console might be the only console where I might just only buy digital because I feel like there's no real point outside of lending games out. But even then, they came up with something for that.
But I mean, even if that's the case, why don't you just buy digitally and then like I guess as long as that lending system is up. But yeah, what a blow for archival and
like I know you can still do like used game sales, but it's just not the same if it's not actually on there.
Yeah. We also got, I don't know, this is a very brief thing, and I don't think this should be a surprise. I think I got the headline and I was like, ooh, juicy, and then I read it and I was like, oh yeah, right. People asked if you can use that GameCube controller for non-GameCube games, and Nintendo was like, yes, but it probably won't work for most actual Switch 2 games. And like, think about it, there is no L1 button. Like the Nintendo GameCube didn't have an L1 button. It had
it was the Z button.
One R1. Yeah, it had the one Z button. So you're literally missing one of the buttons that most games these days have on them. Now, one could make the argument that why don't you just make a fucking GameCube controller that has a Z1 and Z2 on it? But we all know that ain't how Nintendo rolls. So
yeah, Nintendo won't make it, but I know
8-bit DO probably will.
Yeah, third parties did that all the time. When Smash Brothers Ultimate came out, they made one but they're all wired. They usually make wired ones for those.
Yeah.
I think the reason people were asking because they were like, I really want to use this for Smash Brothers.
Right. Yeah, so that happened, and then let's close out our Nintendo block here with a legal story. We all know Nintendo has no chill.
They do not. Yes.
So apparently the latest update is that you remember it was like a year ago, I think.
Yeah, it was like a year or two ago.
Where they had the big Pokemon leak.
Because I remember when we talked about the announcement, you're like, everybody knows about this now.
Yeah,
because they leaked it.
Nintendo is trying, they're like in court in California trying to get Discord to like uncover like the user information for the person who posted that shit because they posted it on Discord.
Yeah.
I don't understand, Michael. Why would you leak it on Discord? Why would you like Discord would rat you out? Like they're going to give you your IP. I don't know. Maybe the person they used like a VPN and like a fake email address or whatever. But
that might be part of it. But like, why would Discord protect you? Type of thing.
Right.
Like they have nothing to like. I know they're in a fight with California in general about like recording messages and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But this isn't something I don't feel like this is something they're going to want to fight for. Didn't that happen to the was it a Fallout guy or a Borderlands 3 guy? You remember the story?
Oh,
the guy kept leaking those too.
Vaguely.
But he got caught by like a private detective or some shit.
Oh yeah,
if I remember correctly. They sent the Pinkertons after him, if I remember.
Oh yeah, they did. I remember that now. Some fucking BioShock bullshit.
Yeah,
over there.
It was crazy.
It's like Red Dead Redemption. Yeah, so everybody remember what happened to Doug Bowser? Not the one in charge, but the other one.
I forgot there was another guy named Doug Bowser.
That they just bankrupted this poor man where they were like, yeah, you owe us $10 million. And it was like, I'm just a guy. Where the fuck am I supposed to get $10 million?
He's like, ask your Koopas to get it. I don't know what to tell you, dude.
And so that dude's just going to be writing a check to Nintendo every month for the rest of his fucking life.
He's going to have a great story for dates, though.
Yeah. I'm Doug Bowser. Not that Doug Bowser, the evil Doug Bowser.
And I actually did legitimately piss off Nintendo.
What if they're actually the same Doug Bowser? Turns out
it's a two-face situation?
Yeah.
It's the substance, as it turns out.
Yeah, it's a Jekyll and Hyde. Yeah, it's a substance. Poor guy, just like fucking Doug Bowser comes out of his back. It's like, going to work.
It's so insane.
I'm not sexy at all. Let's see. In addition, we've got some more video game companies slapping people down a little bit. Capcom is starting to get a little testy about people that are modding Monster Hunter on the PC.
They've done some insane shit, apparently.
So apparently, Capcom is not. It doesn't appear to be super ass mad about like visual mods. What was that one that we had that put Nauta on the fucking monster, or like
which is horrifying.
Nude mods with dongs hanging out. But the thing is that, like I think that always happens. Apparently, people are like modding the netcode to like put more monsters into like late game quests so that you can get even more XP in a single quest. And not just that, but they're also upping the number of people who could join a quest.
That I did not know
at
about.
any one time.
That one sounds kind of cool, actually.
Yeah. To the point where Capcom has published, so they published this thing, and it's basically a list of parameters about, like, if you see any games that aren't laid out, that like it's telling you like the number of conditions for monsters, like the number of like rewards and timers and things like that. And it appears that what they're doing is they're laying the foundation to be like, okay, guys, you need to not be, because the thing is that they're saying is that you could join a modded game and not know.
Yes, this happens a lot.
Know.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, you guys need to fucking watch out, because apparently, like, this is step one, notification. Step two is if you've ever been in one of these games after a certain point, they're just going to ban your IP from playing online. Probably. Yeah. Like,
that was the thing that happened to Grand Theft Auto players when Rockstar had the same issue. Is that people would have like not quests so much as they would like you would walk into a lobby, and a hacker would walk up to you and be like, "Here's $5 billion worth of Grand Theft Auto money," and then Rockstar's like, "You cheated." It's like, no, that dude just walked up to me, and they're like, "Nah, fuck you." And so Monster Hunter, I've been seeing people talk about this for months actually since the game came out.
Yeah,
which is that somebody will be like, "Is this a legit quest?" And it's like 10 fucking monsters, 99 of every fucking reward you can get in the game,
right,
and like $1 billion fucking whatever the money is, and they're like, no, dude, that's clearly get the fuck out of there.
That's some hacks, man. Get out.
Because it was just like you kept seeing that. It was like, come on, guys.
All right, let's kick it into high gear here because we got a lot of tabs. We only got about 15 minutes to get through them. So, due to the tariffs, Ambernick, who makes this one of the Chinese companies that makes little handheld emulator things. Yeah. They got one that looks kind of like a little GBA that's kind of cool. Are ceasing all shipments to the United States.
Oh, that sucks.
You can go buy what's left on Amazon, but once that shit is gone, no more, because this company isn't about to do fucking 200% tariffs. What do we have to on China? Was it $1 billion? Is it infinity? Like
it was like 180 or some shit.
Something bullshit.
Insane.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully us local Americans will make our own emulation machines out of ARM processors and old GBA cases.
We'll make our own sex boxes.
That's right. This is what happens.
Yes. This is what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps, Jeff.
That's right. Yeah. But you know what? This is kind of tangentially related, but I wanted to put it on here. The makers of Wingspan, which is like there is a digital version of this game, but it's like a paper game, right? Like a board game, about bird watching that apparently is very fun. People like it quite a bit.
I remember I almost played this at Randy's because I think he has it.
Yeah. They are basically putting together a lawsuit to sue the current administration of the United States because they manufacture all their shit in China, and like they would go bankrupt. They're like, we would have to pay a $15 tariff on every $10 worth of game that we brought into the United States.
Yeah.
Like, so they've got a certain amount of backlog, but they're basically just like kind of getting together a bunch of different people in the board gaming, the tabletop industry, because all their shit, we don't manufacture shitloads of tabletop games here in the United States.
Yeah,
that shit gets done overseas. So
I've been seeing Randy talk about this. If you guys don't know, Randy is a friend of ours who owns a comic book shop here in actually in Round Rock, and he's been talking about this for months actually.
Yep,
because the board game industry relies heavily on China to make these board games.
Yep.
And they've spent like decades building up from like board games being kind of niche and like mostly Monopoly and Clue and shit into this big market of just like, hey, you want to play a board game based on Firefly? Here you go. You want to play a board game based on Star Trek or fucking Buffy the Vampire Slayer? All these like huge IPs or just weird creative stuff like this birdwatching one or
the Bloodborne game
ones
or
like,
whatever.
Like any number of thing can be a board game now because it's such a big market and people do Kickstarters to make sure that so for ones that people want. And then those become sold out eventually. But every single one of these relies on the fact that you can just make these, not cheap, but like you can make them under cost so you can sell them with a good margin to, keep yourself steady.
Right.
These tariffs obliterate not just that, but also maybe this whole market share.
Yep.
So these people have to sue them to survive because there's not really much else they can do.
Hell, they were talking about, one of the stories in here was talking about how they have 50,000 units in China, but because they are still there and have not already shipped, they are now like they were done before this shit was even happening. They were just like finishing their manufacturing run of it, but they don't send them 10 at a time. They wait until the entire run is done. And so just by the fact that the run took a little bit of time to get done, by the time it was done, fucking Donald Trump is in a pissing match with China over this tariff shit, and it's like, I can't afford to bring them here because I now owe $1.5 million worth of tariffs on the shit that I've already paid for.
I am 99% certain the reason my Evil Dead 2 board game thing from Kickstarter hasn't come is because the last time we got an update, like we're gonna get them all on a container,
right?
And they'll be here like mid-April,
right?
All of that should happen like beginning of April.
Yeah,
I'm like 99% certain that's what's going on because we haven't had any updates on that Kickstarter since.
I just want to buy my cheap emulation machines. I don't care about board games, but still, it's
everything is fucked. Everything is so frustrating.
It's just very frustrating. Hey, here's a nice story. Everspace 2 is getting ready to come out with a DLC.
Oh, fun.
I think I've made you watch a few trailers for it called Wrath of the Ancients with these big ancient ships. Yeah. They lowered the price of the DLC.
Really?
They said they went online and they said everything's really expensive. Yeah, we're gonna make it cheaper. So it was $30 and now it's $25.
That's really nice of them.
And then also they went back and they cut the cost of their last DLC from $15 to $12. They were just like, you know what, we're doing okay. You guys want some stuff? Here you go. Have a little, put a little bit of extra back in your pocket. They also are giving out a bunch of kind of freebies to people who bought kind of like their season pass to make up for the fact that it got lowered, that everything got lowered in price.
That's very nice of them.
Yeah, it's nice. So go play Everspace 2. I should, but haven't. If you do need a little bit extra money in your pocket, though, Michael, did you see that games... No, wait. Oh, I skipped one. Nope. Okay. I've done this all out of order. I don't give a shit. I'm going to do it out of order. Wait, where is it? Did I close the... I think I closed it. Okay, never mind.
You might have murdered it with your bare hands.
So, let's see. Oh, yeah. No, it was there. GameStop came out with a meme thing for 420, Michael.
What the fuck am I looking at?
Until... Like, check this shit out. This is fucking redonkulous. Until like April 26th, you could trade in your Xbox Series X.
This is tomorrow from when we're recording, so it'll
okay.
be done by the time this has happened.
Okay. Well,
but
sorry.
Still, though.
For $420.69. Lol, bro.
That's insane.
You do have to have the GameStop, like...
You have to have the Pro membership, I assume.
Pro Platinum or whatever, which is $20 a year, $25 a year. But they have a promo code that lets you knock off $5 to make it $20, so you'll be able to basically get $400.69 in trading credit, not in cash, but in trading credit.
But that's great though if you're trying to get like a Switch 2 or something.
But yeah, if you're trying to buy a Switch 2, it's like, holy shit, man! Like, and this is any Series X as long as it fucking works. Like,
that's insane.
So yeah.
I am so tempted because I don't touch mine very often, but I also have games on it that I can only play on it.
Yeah.
So-
I looked at it and I was like, nah, that's all right, man. That's all right.
I like having all the systems.
Yeah.
I'm not getting rid of one just for not for the lulz, but also two, like just to get the Switch 2 possibly. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, from when it was announced, it was just like, holy shit. So you can get a Switch 2 for $100?
Yeah.
Like if you just trade it in? Like that's some actual, like, I could give GameStop a lot of crap. That's a good ass deal, man.
That's a super good ass deal.
I don't know what you guys are going to do with all these secondhand Series X's. Nobody wants them. Like,
Yeah, which is why it's so weird that they decided to do it for that console specifically.
Yep.
Unless there's a shortage on them, that doesn't make any sense.
No
I don't know.
idea.
Maybe it's to get ahead of the tariffs.
PS5 Pro is bringing back those those PlayStation throwback
Oh, thank
themes.
fucking God. I've been wanting this thing back. It feels weird without
Not
it.
the PS1 startup.
Oh, that's
But
all I wanted.
Just the themes, just those ugly ass themes where they put a bunch of PS1s and shit at the top
well,
of your thing.
I like the sounds they made at least.
Yeah. But yeah, you'll be able to get those back. I think by the time this comes out, they'll already be back out.
I was surprised when they took them down originally. I was like, people wanted themes on your PS5 for a while. Why don't you just let them have them?
Yep. April 24th. So the day before we recorded this. So apparently PS5 console rentals in Japan are booming.
That's weird.
Like it's 1996 and your parents can't afford a Nintendo 64 or whatever. Apparently a lot of this is just because of Monster Hunter.
Oh, no, that makes sense.
So there's like this local chain in Japan called the Geo Corporation that is both like a rental store, like a DVD and rental store, but they also do like repairs and stuff. And so they had like a bunch of PS5s that they were, they had like repair parts and stuff they cobbled together.
Yeah.
And they decided, like the guy that made it decided that they would rent them real cheap for like a week or 2 weeks. And they're both they're pretty low in price. What, $7 for a week, $12.50 for 2 weeks?
That's not bad at all.
Now they don't come with any games or PS Pro subscriptions.
I know plenty of people here who would do that just to borrow one of my games, type of thing.
Yeah. So apparently it's like big business, and I'm like, oh, you guys really need to reevaluate your prices if we're back to fucking Blockbuster handing you a suitcase with a fucking Nintendo 64 in it.
Yeah, those were the days, guys. You don't remember those times, but those were the days.
Yeah. Speaking of PlayStations, apparently the Days Gone remaster, which is right around the corner, has an accessibility option that will let you run the entire game at like half speed. And I couldn't find anywhere in this blog post or in here if this is like a thing you can just like turn on with a button, or do you have to go to a settings menu and then turn the game speed down, and then when you're done, go back into a settings menu and turn the game speed back up? Because I'll be honest, if I could just make Days Gone into Biker Max Payne with a single button press, that's actually pretty cool.
That would be a lot of fun.
That's kind of cool. Like you could use slow motion running from a bunch of zombies or whatever. But like
that would be a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah.
If it's an accessibility feature, it's probably a menu thing. But I remember there being like an accessibility feature for some game that was a press of the button type thing. But life of me, I don't remember what it was.
They do have a lot of accessibility. Like you can really just like highlight what you want and customize stuff. So
PlayStation has been in the forefront of like really making things accessible, and I'm really happy for that.
Yeah, me too. Let's see. So last week we had the marathon announcement. Boy, this poor guy. So a lot of people looked at the marathon announcement. They were like, "That's Concord 2.0. It'll never last. It's gonna die. Fuck you, fuck your mother." One of the devs from Concord went on Reddit and was like, yeah, so I've never posted here before, but like I worked on Concord. I just wanted to say like, yeah, we gave it a shot and it didn't work. We failed and that burns, but whatever, that's what happens. But I just wanted everybody to be like, hey, could you guys just like give Marathon a try? Like sometimes, just don't write this thing off right away and et cetera, et cetera. The responses were somewhat mixed, shall we say?
I would make fun of the guy.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. That's mean. Don't get me wrong. But even I would be like, look, I'm gonna make fun of this thing anyways.
If it's fun, it's fun. Like that's if it's a good game, it's a good game. Like your game wasn't very good, and I feel like there was room for Concord to be an okay game, but it didn't. But
it had nothing going for it. Concord didn't have a style. It looked fairly ugly. Its characters' designs were ugly. Like everything about that game wasn't very interesting. That's the actual problem that game had.
I thought it had some potential, but
It had potential if it was a story-based game.
Right.
The problem was they're like, look at all these characters that you're going to love, like, as much as you love fucking... like all the Fortnite characters or Marvel Rival characters. You're like, no, I will not. I don't know who any of these people are. I don't know anything about them.
This Lizard Star-Lord.
You didn't even have like you had some trailers, but none of them had the charm of like even the way Overwatch. One of the reasons Overwatch worked originally because they had these really intricate story type trailers about them. Yeah. So you did fall in love with those characters. This was like, what if we were kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy, but not really? Yeah. And it was like, well, none of this works for me.
I had a little bit more fondness for it than everybody else, but I still wasn't going to play it. So like,
and also it cost like $40.
It was also $40. Yeah. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know the marathon. Did you watch the marathon stuff?
I did.
What did you think?
I thought it was fine. I like, and Marathon is an IP, so that it has that going for it.
Yeah.
It also has some style that it's oozing here and there. But at the end of the day, it's an extraction shooter. If that's your kind of thing, then you're gonna like it, I assume. If it's not, then I assume you're just not going to play it. I'm not going to play it.
The thing is, I've never played an extraction shooter, but I don't know why everybody is going for that model now, where it's like,
I don't get it either.
Oh, Escape from Tarkov, and I'm like, yeah, but that's just one game. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's a new thing, and everybody will be into it. But
I think that's the idea. Maybe they want it to be the new thing, and if it catches on, they don't have as many things to fight against.
Right.
So if it works out, maybe that'll help them out in the long run.
Maybe. Speaking of online games, we got a very brief update from the Battlefield community showing off their destructible environments. These environments, Michael, are real destructible.
Which is really cool, actually.
They're really destructible. Like, I like the way that this is a pretty short clip, and it's not even like completed. It's like a lot of wireframes and stuff. But
yeah.
But I like the way that like these like balconies fall, like they kind of fall one after another. They talked in this blog post about how they want like buildings they call it apple core, where like, it's basically the sides are all getting fucked up until you just see kind of what's like holding it up in the middle. That
would be a good way of doing it. Yeah.
You know what? I don't remember seeing anything this impressive in Battlefield 2042.
No, like the trailers made you think it would, but nothing ever actually stuck that way.
But this shit's pretty impressive in this real high density urban environment, and seeing this building just like completely get fucking wrecked, son. riggedy wrecked.
The main thing is like whether or not they can keep it doing this while everything's detailed, because like you said, a lot of this is wireframe, so there's not a lot of detail that the engine has to fight.
It's not full wireframe. It's just like it's not textured. It's untextured, basically.
Yeah, it's like the training level of a fighting game, basically.
Yeah. It's just got the grid,
and that's it, and which looks great. So there's not a lot of like small details that the system has to fight against at the moment. But it looks really cool though. If this works out exactly the way they were intending it to, this game's gonna be fucking awesome.
I agree. What the fuck? Oh, I accidentally left a video running and it auto played through like 3 more.
You want to know about the Vatican, Jeff?
I don't know. I don't want to know about the Vatican. Not interested in the Vatican.
Do you want to watch Eurotrip?
In other EA news, we got the full-on announcement for that Star Wars XCOM game.
Oh yeah.
That was like we saw it on a guy's LinkedIn, I think, a couple weeks back.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah. It's an interesting, I don't know, have you seen this trailer?
No, I haven't. I know Respawn was working on this.
Respawn is working on it, but I think it's mainly being made by that Bit Reactor.
Yeah.
It's talking about this kind of like mercenary like fighting force during the Clone Wars. We're the ones who did the actual dirty work.
Oh, one of those guys. Okay.
Kind of thing. And so they kind of show a bunch of these different characters. It looks an awful lot like Warhammer Rogue Trader or something, where it's like, there's like there's like one clone trooper and like a guy with the like green goo in his helmet, and there's like a Jedi-ish looking dude with a lightsaber, and like some droids, and they're kind of flying a ship that looks an awful lot like what's his face, the Mandalorian ship.
Well, it was a Clone Wars era ship, so that makes sense.
And there's like a Mandalorian guy, and then they just briefly show off that the game itself is like, it's like an XCOM. It's like a tactics game, and I don't know if that's the way I would go with Star Wars, but I'm appreciating that they're trying something, like that they're trying something different. So,
like Star Wars games, like I feel like they haven't done enough variety with them is the problem.
Yeah,
a lot of their games tend to just turn into like these normal little adventure games,
right?
But not like the fun adventure games type of thing. But and also it's been a while since they've had one that wasn't just a either a third person action game or a shooter of some kind.
Right.
So this is it's an interesting take to do. And every time I've resisted something, sometimes end up being really good, like the Mario one, or sometimes they're very annoying, like the Metal Slug one.
I feel like there's like a subplot on RageSelect of trying to get Michael to play tactics games,
and only one of them is stuck so far, which is really funny.
Everybody should go play Gears Tactics. I love that game.
Remember when they made a Funko Pop version of the thing?
Yes,
that was an interesting idea.
I think it was phones only.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
Anyway, looks pretty cool. Check it out. And then let's just zip through 2 more of these, and then we'll take a break. Frostpunk is getting an Unreal Engine remake.
The first one?
The original, yeah. So Frostpunk 1886 was announced. I think this is because I think the second one was made in Unreal.
Yeah.
And so they're just backporting the first one back into that. They're going to be adding some more stuff as well as some more enhanced mod support and stuff. That's supposed to be coming. Oh, by the way, the Star Wars game is 2026.
Oh, okay.
And then this is supposed to be 2027.
That's weird.
So we got, we're in 2025, whatever. But if you're a big fan of Frostpunk, you get some more Frostpunk. So
that's nice. It turns out my boss is a big fan of Frostpunk 1. So I told him about us playing Frostpunk 2, and he's like, "Oh, I should look into that."
Why?
I know he was a glutton for punishment, apparently.
And then last but not least, I don't know. This is kind of fun.
I've actually been getting ads for this for a while.
Yeah, Limited Run is putting out the Doom plus Doom 2 Will It Run edition, which is a big thing. It's a big box full of Doom stuff, but the thing that's funny about it is that when you open the box itself has a screen on it that will run Doom.
Yeah.
So there's literally a screen on the game box that has Doom running on it. Not just that, but it's got a whole bunch of other stuff. It's got a certificate of authenticity, a little handheld Cacodemon that also plays Doom.
It's got
a little Cacodemon sculpture, some trading cards, Doom 1 and Doom 2, and then a cassette soundtrack. Michael, this is already sold out, even though it is $666.
It's also only has 666 of them, apparently.
Yes.
Also, by the way, if you guys still want a physical copy, they sell just the game itself.
Right.
So because limited run tends to sell just the normal copy of it.
Yeah.
And then a super weird limited edition one.
Yeah.
And this one is one of the few that I've seen sold out right away.
Yeah.
Because there was a Ninja Turtles one for the Turtles collection, one that they came out with. I forget the name of the Cowabunga collection.
Yeah.
There was one for the Cowabunga collection. There was one for the Shredder one. There was one for the Castlevania collection too, and none of those sold out, to be honest.
The big box version is only $100, and it's got the games, and then it's got the tapes, and it's got the trading cards.
Yeah,
that's not too bad.
It's not bad, and it looks really nice. And the only reason I'm not considering it is because I already bought Doom 1 and 2 a very long time ago. That's why I was confused why they made a limited run physical version.
Well,
for
and
it.
Then the PC version doesn't have discs. The PC version is a code, and it's
strange. It's why would these? They came out with these digitally 2 years ago or something like that. So why now?
They're constantly re-releasing Doom 1 and 2.
Yeah,
constantly.
It's very strange. And honestly, it's weird that it doesn't have the Doom 3 re-release too.
That's true.
And Doom 64.
Yep.
You think it would just be all 4 of those?
Very strange. With that, we're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we got a boatload of trailers, so stick around, and we'll see you in just a minute. We're back. And Mike, you know what that means? Everybody start the countdown. It's 45 minutes. At what point will I become incomprehensible and too sleepy?
Or which point do we make it last way too long?
Well, that's true. That's true as well. Part 3 of RageSelect Podcast means we got a bunch of trailers. We're going to start off with
Revenge of the Sith or whatever.
We got a big 3-minute trailer for Ghosts of Yotai,
which is very exciting.
Yeah, this is more of a story trailer that kind of went over the kind of revenge shtick. It showed off a lot of the game. I don't know. The game looks really good.
It looks very good.
I don't know if it looks better than Ghost of Tsushima, but it's been a long time since I looked at that. And PS5 upgrades, I don't know.
I think it does look better only because of the fact there's a little more detail in this version. But that's because I think it's the models. I think the models got just that much more updated.
I think the lighting looks a little bit better, maybe. But
I never never went back to play the PS5 version, so I can't really say on that. Though.
Yeah. Anyway, it looks like this is your standard a bunch of dudes what killed my family / village, and I'm gonna hunt them all down one at a time types of stories.
Good times though.
Which is
like the Quick and the Dead, but with samurais.
Exactly. Which is, it's nice. I kind of liked the story of the first one was interesting with this whole just kind of like, quit killing people dishonorably. Quit winning. You're winning too much with your dishonorable ninja bullshit.
You're like, I'm just going to do it even harder.
I'm going to do it. Yeah, watch this.
That is the entire story, basically.
Pretty much. Yeah, it looks good, though. But I think the big thing is that we got a release date for it as well, which is October.
Which is great. I'm really happy that it's coming out because I was worried it was going to be like a next year type of thing.
Yeah, that it would get bumped.
Yeah, but I'm happy that's coming out this year because I can always use something new and cool to be on my PS5 Pro.
Yeah, I mean it is interesting to see this game just be like, man, go fuck yourself, Grand Theft Auto. I'm coming out in October. You do what you do, exactly. Motherfucker.
Like, we're gonna make them sales before you overrun everybody.
Yeah, or maybe not. If they come out the week after, could be that nobody buys this game.
Maybe I hope it doesn't run into the issue that fucking Horizon did when Zelda came out.
Oh yeah. Which would be a shame because this looks amazing. Like everything I'm seeing here of the gameplay and stuff looks real fun. It looks a lot like the first one. A lot of fucking chopping up dudes.
That first one is so good.
Slashy.
So happy we got another one.
Yep.
I know people are gonna, scream specific things about it, but I think I think it looks great.
Yeah. October 2nd is when that's coming out, and yeah, I think it looks great.
Also appreciate that it's not just like directly after the first one.
Yeah.
It's like hundreds of years later or something like that.
I don't remember the exact.
Further
time frame,
out,
but yes, it's not. It seems like it's very disconnected from the first one,
which is great. That's a great idea.
It's really weird though too because like I've been trying for a long time to get in any way, shape, or form excited about Assassin's Creed Shadows, like to just get myself to play that game, and I haven't. Even though everybody's like, "It's good." No, it's good.
No, it's legitimately good apparently.
And I'm like, I don't. But I'm like, no, but this one, I want to play this one.
Because Assassin's Creed has burned us so much.
Yeah,
because by the time you're going to be done with it, I'm like, I don't really know what the point of this was.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're going to be done with this, you're going to be like, that was very nice.
Yeah.
Very well told.
I mean, I don't know. Assassin's Creed had the same story thing. Like now at the beginning it's like the fucking rogues gallery of dudes come out and kill everyone, and she's like, I'm gonna go get revenge on the dudes. But I don't know, this looks a little bit more up my alley, a little bit more stylish, a little bit more interesting. I don't know.
Well, you also remember the first one played so well that you're just going to be like, this is going to be more of that awesomeness.
Yeah.
So.
I really thought that the moment-to-moment combat in the first game was really exceptional.
It was fantastic.
Like, you could really get overwhelmed even when you had a lot of your stuff. But then by the time you got up to like I really liked the mechanic where you got the thing where you could really brutally eviscerate somebody, and then everybody else would go, oh my fucking, this dude's crazy, man. Get out of here.
You could also just like walk up to somebody in like full armor and be like, would you for something, bitch?
Right.
It was so great. Oh my God. It's such a fantastic game.
Can't wait. Cannot wait. We also got a brief trailer, speaking of samurais, for Onimusha 1 and 2, kind of a recap of the two games.
Yeah.
Because you're getting ready to put out the Onimusha 2 like HD remaster.
Which is great. I'm very happy about that.
Yeah. It's funny because Matt and I played the first one. I don't think I've ever actually played Onimusha 2.
It was really good, but I remember it being kind of the black sheep of it. Not because it was bad, but because Part 3 was so memorable compared to Part 2 and 1.
Jean Reno.
Yeah. I'm curious if that'll happen, if they'll come out with that again.
I think isn't that one of those ones that's hard to find?
Because it was only on that. They never re-released it as far as I know. And who knows if they'll do it again because of the John Reno thing. They might have to pay John Reno again.
Because then there's also the new one that's coming out.
Yes, I think that's one of the reasons they're doing this to begin with.
Yeah.
So people can get like a little more excited for Onimusha again.
I do think that I do kind of wish that instead of doing these, that they'd done the Resident Evil treatment and just done remakes.
I wish that too. I was hoping that's what they would do, but they just ended up just doing this instead, which I won't say no to. Yeah. Because the Devil May Cry series didn't have anything like that either.
Yeah. So yeah. Interesting.
As long as there's a way to play them, I have no issues with that. Because that's the main issue I have nowadays is that there's so many great Capcom games that are just impossible to play outside of their original thing.
Right.
Like the Beautiful Joe series, if they just re-released them and did nothing to them, I would buy them immediately.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what we need more of. So.
More. I'm glad to see. I'm glad every time a PS2 game gets its wings. Like,
yes,
because there's still so many games on that platform that I would really like to play. Even ones that don't emulate very well. I was really excited that they put out War of the Monsters on PS Plus. Like, you could just totally play that. So
I would buy fucking every PS2 Mortal Kombat game. Right now,
dude. If they put Shaolin Monks on the PS2 on the PlayStation Network, I would already own it.
Oh,
I'd already own it. We'd be starting a new sequential. No, wait,
I know we would start a new sequential. I would force you to start a new sequential for that one. And I would be Liu Kang because I know you hate Liu Kang.
I hate Liu Kang.
Or we use the codes and just use the
Sub-Zero and Scorpion. Start with Sub-Zero and Scorpion.
Fire Nice.
the best ones. Anyway, Onimusha 2 is coming out on May 23rd, and they're going to have a pack that have both of them together,
which is great.
And they're doing an update to Onimusha, I think, with a new difficulty on the same day. So.
You know what they'll never re-release? That weird Smash Brothers Onimusha game they made.
Oh God, yeah. Jesus,
that was a weird fucking thing they did.
Speaking of Capcom, we got the full gameplay trailer for Miss Elena.
This is very exciting.
You weren't on when they did the announcement last week, but I wanted to get your impressions because I know you played the shit out of Street Fighter 6, and you probably care more about this than I do. So
Elena was one of the most OP characters in all of Street Fighter for quite some time.
Really?
Yeah, because of the way she was designed was like made her much faster than a lot of other people.
Oh, okay.
Especially in Street Fighter 4. And so people were very excited for, and also because the plot-wise, people wanted to see where it went. Because one of the plots of Street Fighter 3 was that she befriends Akuma.
Oh, okay.
She's basically like that friend that just will not leave you alone until like, we're friends now, right? And Akuma's just like, oh, God damn it. And so it's become this fun meme. And so people were very excited that like this great little character that was so fun is now in Street Fighter 6.
Now, was she not in 5?
No, she was not in 5.
Okay, that's what I read last week. So, in LA, it looks like she's got kind of a new outfit, but they also have her like traditional costume, the big old legs on out there. That's the thing I always remember is just her idle animation. Street Fighter 3 had like 8 times as many frames as everybody else's.
Yeah, because they wanted to like fluidly animate her little capoeira, or not capoeira, whatever the dance is. I forgot which, I think it's capoeira. I don't remember, but she fights like a dancer, and so has so much fucking animation in Street Fighter 3.
Yeah.
And then even the same with the other ones, because she's always just fucking moving around the whole time.
I don't think I've seen I think, is she like a Balrog character? I don't think I've seen a single attack in this trailer that is fist. I think it's all feet, right?
Yeah, because
like,
she's dance fighting the entire time, which is what makes her so unique. So she's like DJ kind of thing.
Okay.
But like she's like DJ 2.0 is the best way of putting it.
Okay.
But even more dancing than he does.
Yeah.
And she's just a fun character because she's like one of the most innocent characters in all of Street Fighter.
Well, there you go.
So yeah, I'm really happy that Street Fighter 6 is continuing the stories of people from Street Fighter 3.
Yeah.
That's always what I've wanted from another Street Fighter game.
Yeah, capoeira style coming June 5th. So yeah,
I'm very excited for the Gooners.
Well, it was weird because we saw last week with the announcement, it was the updated costume.
Yes.
And I was like, thank God they gave that woman some pants. And then in here, it's like, well, no, we still have the no pants version.
Yeah.
We still just have like the bathing suit version.
Capcom knows what people want.
Yeah, Capcom got your number, you guys.
That's what happened when they came out with May from Fatal Fury.
Oh, God.
Like, we know you want to see her chest, you sickos.
Yep.
Here you go.
We also got just another look at the Capcom Fighting Collection 2.
I'm super excited for this, though.
This one focused on Power Stone 2 and the Capcom Fighting Evolution.
Everybody hates Fighting Evolution, by the way.
Do they?
Yeah, they think it's like one of the worst games they've ever made.
Why?
Because it was like a last minute thing, so a lot of it's not very well balanced, and a lot of the animations are all really bad because they just reused a bunch of shit. Because it was supposed to be something else apparently.
Yeah,
and they just kind of fucked it up.
I've never played Power Stone, but it kind of looks like 3D Smash Brothers almost.
Kind of, actually. The Power Stone series is very beloved for some reason, and I don't mean that as like I hate it. It's just I never played them either.
Yeah,
but like every time they come out with it in some capacity, somebody's like, "Oh my god, it's Power Stone!" Every single time.
Okay,
like even Jeff from Giant Bomb was just like would make jokes about it. When Marvel's Capcom Infinite came out, like, "Oh, there's a Power Stone button. I'm hitting it, but Power Stone isn't happening."
Yeah, they also talked about there's like so May 16th. It's up for pre-order. There's also a pre-order bonus, which is like a couple of remixes of songs.
I kind of want that, especially if it's Capcom versus SNK2.
But you can't play them in the game. It says
that's kind of dumb.
These songs cannot be played during gameplay.
Oh,
like I think it's just for the sound test version.
I
There's
think
also
that happened for the update from Marvel vs. Capcom 2, actually.
Oh, okay.
Because they came out with the Cap Gems version of the Cyclops theme, the Captain America one, and a couple others.
Huh.
So, and I listened to them. They're super jazzy, like super jazzy.
Okay,
it's very strange.
That is strange. Also, there's a comic book
that I want.
It says like comic info, 48 pages, 105 millimeters by 85 millimeters, fits in game box. So like obviously not a full sized comic.
Well, that's what they did with the Marvel's Capcom one. It's like this big.
Yeah,
it's like really small.
Okay.
And I actually that was one of the reasons I bought it. I'm like, I'm gonna read this real quick. So I'm probably gonna do the same for this one.
All right. Speaking of fighting, I got more news for Michael. Actually, I think that wasn't this already announced?
It was announced, but it's out now.
Oh, okay. This is the launch trailer for the Daima character pack for Sparking Zero.
Yeah, I think it just came out this week.
Yeah,
because my Sparking Zero updated, and then I went to the store and it was there.
Okay.
But they're adding some stuff that came out in Daima, because Daima's over, by the way.
Yeah,
the Japanese dub ended like a month ago.
So now you can play as Goku babies. Goku babies.
Well, they gave Goku baby his transformation, and then they added Vegeta baby.
Yep.
And well, not Vegeta baby, or not baby Vegeta, not to be confused with baby Vegeta, but tiny Vegeta. The fact I have to say that is really funny to me because Jeff has no idea why I'm saying that.
Nope. I just assume it's some Dragon Ball bullshit.
It's a Dragon Ball GT bullshit thing. But yeah, they added tiny Vegeta and as well as his transformations, and Majin Ku, I think was his name.
Yeah.
And I forgot the guy's name because Goku keeps getting his name wrong on purpose.
Okay.
He's the guy who's like their guide throughout the thing.
Oh, the kind of older looking.
Yeah.
The one that's not a baby.
Yeah, the one that's not a baby.
The non-baby.
He's their guide in like the world because he's like hired to get them to help them out.
Yeah.
And so yeah, you have Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta canonically for the first time, which is really cool.
Do you think you're gonna buy this?
Oh no, I already have it.
Oh, okay.
Because you remember I bought the $100 version of this thing. And it came with the DLC packs, so I have this.
Okay, well,
it came with it.
It was DLC 2. I wasn't sure whether it was one of those bullshit things where the special edition only gets you the first DLC and then you got to buy the second one.
As far as I know,
it
comes with both packs they're coming out with, but I don't know if they're going to come out with more packs after that. Is the thing.
Well,
so.
I think they are because they have DLC 3 from Daima to be revealed soon on this.
I think that's part of it, though, is the thing. I don't know if they're going to go past that.
Well, it says DLC 1, DLC 2, DLC 3.
But I'm very excited because I'm hoping it's going to have the reveal that happened. I don't even care about spoiling it at this point because that was a month ago. Because we talked, and we even talked about the mod they did for it.
Oh, yeah.
And so, like, it's a new form for Goku is the best way of putting it.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see if that will show up in here so we can have them fight each other.
There you go. They make them fight.
Exactly.
Fight.
That's the main reason we want them.
And they make them kiss. Wait, no, they're babies. Don't make them kiss.
No. Well, they're still like 40 years old.
They're 40-year-old babies.
If Fire Emblem can do it, we can do it.
If you want some more anime bullshit, apparently Diablo 4 is putting a bunch of Berserk.
That's kind of fun, actually.
Stuff in. I gotta say, I'm fucking sick of this nonsense. Like, I hate it so much now. Of like, yeah. I mean, I was actually gonna say like, what if DLC Pack 3 for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero was a bunch of My Hero Academia characters? Like, I like My Hero Academia, but get the fuck out of my Dragon Ball game. Go back to your own game, you idiots. Like,
that keeps happening in every game now.
And like, okay, I like Berserk. Not as much as the people that really like it, but like, like one of the characters obviously has the guts armor. This isn't like an animated thing, so it's not even like a gameplay.
Yeah.
One of the characters is like the barbarian or whatever, has like the big gut sword and the wolf armor, and then like one of them is the skull dude. It's been so long.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've been traumatized by Berserk.
Right.
Is the only way of saying it.
Right. But he's like an evil guy. And then one of them is, what's his face? Is Geese or...
I don't even remember.
Am I just get my King of Fighters?
I forgot their names, but I think she's just like the problem is I don't remember the names of these things.
Okay.
I haven't read or watched Berserk in like 20 years.
The guy that is his buddy.
The one who's crazy.
Yeah. Griffith.
Griffith.
Okay,
Yeah. I knew it started with a G.
One of the characters is dressed like Griffith, and I'm like, why would you want that? Griffith is the worst.
People are sickos, Jeff.
Fucking weirdos, man.
For the
Like
sickos.
I don't know what this is. Why? And like I don't know. You may say to me, Jeff, what's the harm? They're just putting this in here. It's optional. You can do it if you want to. But like once they start down this fucking dark road, then like look at Overwatch.
Overwatch
With
frustrates
Cowboy
me.
Bebop and Transformers and
What was the latest one they announced?
motherfucker. Overwatch crossed over with Warcraft. That's stupid.
Was that the one I'm thinking of?
stupid? Like,
Somebody sent me one that with Overwatch announced. You probably already talked about it.
oh, I don't know. I've kind of gotten sick of Overwatch. I've kind of gotten sick of bashing down on Overwatch.
But it was another one that made me go, ooh, something I would have liked 10 years ago.
Right. I don't know.
It was an Endless Waltz one.
Oh,
It was
okay.
a Gundam one, and I was like, but why though?
Do you remember when Call of Duty crossed over with Gundam? Were they the Gundam suits that the Call of Duty
do
guys could
remember
wear?
that,
And I was just
yeah.
like, but why? But why? This makes no fucking sense, man. You like okay, let me just put it this way. Michael, I like all different flavors of ice cream. I don't want you to mix every flavor of ice cream together. Like when you mix them all together, you don't get the ultimate ice cream. You get a fucking mess that's tonally garbage.
Yeah, I think you saw it. Did you talk about this?
No,
Yeah, it's like a Mercy Gundam fucking
Oh,
Wing
good.
Zero outfit.
Great.
And it comes out on the 29th.
Gross. I hate it. Thanks. I hate it. Yeah.
It's fair, yeah.
Fortnite is crossing over Star Wars on May, and everybody has like they did a little trailer where they showed a bunch of stuff that's happening. They're having a bunch of different events. And Michael, there's one thing in this trailer that made me want to again punch myself directly in the dick.
It made me laugh.
And that is the inclusion of Darth Jar Jar, an internet meme.
The greatest meme.
Evil of Jar Jar Binks, Sith Lord, and I don't want to. I mean,
You think we can get Kayla to play Fortnite?
no, I don't. I don't. I don't.
It's the best. I'm so happy with that.
There's just so many things, and I'm like, you don't have to put everything in everything. You don't have to stuff this turkey with this many different meats. You could just give me the regular turkey, and I'll eat it. It's fine. Like
Jeff,
it's
but
fine.
it's for the lulz, Jeff.
Yeah.
It's for the lulz.
That's what
Think
I
of
want.
the children.
Think of the children. Think of the children.
But they
As
came
I
out with,
say,
they came out with like the image now, right? Of the
of what?
you remember how they always come out with like a promo image
Oh.
of the pass?
Yeah.
They have one out
okay.
for it. I think it's just Poe Dameron is also going to be part of it.
Great.
Which, guys, I wanted Poe Dameron like fucking 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't think I care anymore.
Also, okay. Last week, I was talking about the trailer where they put Jay and Silent Bob into Call of Duty, which again made no sense to me. Jay and
Yeah.
Silent Bob are not action heroes. However, this week there are alternate costumes that turn them into Bluntman and Chronic. This makes more sense to me.
It does.
This makes a lot more sense to me. This I can understand. I understand Bluntman and Chronic. Here's the problem with all this crossover stuff is I'm just like, it doesn't make any sense, man.
No, it doesn't.
Why would Kiryu Kazama be shooting a gun in Rainbow Six Siege? He doesn't use guns. He's a Yakuza. He beats people up. And they're just like, why are you thinking about it this much? And I'm like, because I care about video games.
That's true. But Bluntman and Chronic is makes me tempted.
Bluntman and Chronic makes more sense than Cheech and Chong.
It does, actually.
It makes a lot more sense than Cheech and Chong.
Even Jay and Silent Bob have used the gun at some point. So
Yeah, Jade shot the Ben Affleck and Dogma, I guess.
yeah, he used that Uzi that one time.
Yeah,
And you know, Silent Bob has a lot of weird gadgets.
sure. I could maybe see some of that, but yeah. Anyway, Jay and Silent Bob or Bluntman and Chronic makes more sense than Jay and Silent Bob. I stand by my.
It's true, it still does, yeah.
Marvel Rivals has the giant size brain blast coming, and this is just big head mode.
Yeah. Which is weird, but sure.
And apparently, like the whole point of it is that you play it and you can earn like an emote that is the big head mode. Like
that's fucking weird.
So, but you know, big head mode being that like, you know, in these games, headshots do more damage, and with big head mode, that means all your damage is going to be bigger. I don't know. I guess the last one that they did was like the you can have an entire team full of the same character.
Yeah, that's what I remember that trailer because it was all the
Mr.
Reed
Fantastic,
Richards doing the big buff thing,
right?
And which was really funny to look at.
I don't know. As somebody who sometimes plays Fortnite, Michael, does this make you interested in going back to Marvel Rivals at all?
Well, actually, I did start going back to Marvel Rivals fairly recently, and not because like I'm super into it. Again, it's because it's something I can play while listening to podcasts. It's kind of the way I was doing with Fortnite. But the games go much faster than Fortnite does, so it made it even funner to do it that way.
Right.
And also, I just kind of wanted to play the game again for a little bit.
Sure.
Basically, again, as I mentioned before, if I was in a relationship, this probably would be all I was doing.
Sure.
Was playing Marvel Rivals, to be honest, because it's a lot of fun. And I actually started branching out to different characters, so that's been fun too.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Big head mode. Sure. Sure, man. Sure. Let's see. Speaking of just Disney properties, we got another trailer for Tron Catalyst, which I'm really interested in. This one just kind of goes over the backstory about the character that can see this glitch that's happening, and so it's like a time loop.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
This is being made by Mike Bithell, whatever his name is. Made some of the other stuff, kind of Hades in the Tron world. I'm actually really excited for this one.
Yeah, I remember us wondering what it was, and then once we realized, they're like, oh no, this is the best possible thing you could do with Tron right now.
Yeah. I'm kind of interested. There's an idea that, I think in this trailer they mentioned the city being named Vertical Slice, and I'm like, I wonder if this is like a game demo, and that's why it keeps starting over and over and over again.
That would be a great idea.
Like if you're stuck inside of
a vertical slice,
like a game demo on an E3 type of thing. But
that's actually really fun if that's the idea.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited for this just because it looks really interesting, and I like Tron, and I kind of wish that they would do more with it.
I'm always surprised they haven't.
Yeah.
It feels like the type of thing that would have a billion games, but it doesn't.
June 17th. That's when it's coming out. Michael, got another one for you. Rocket League's got them Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in it.
Yes.
It's just the van. It's just the Turtle Mobile.
Yeah. And if you buy it, you can use it in Fortnite.
Oh God damn it! Really?
Yeah, because you can buy it in Fortnite or buy it in Rocket League, and if you buy it in either one, you can use it vice versa.
In Fortnite, do the turtles animate when they come out of the top? Because they seem like relatively static here.
That one I don't think they do.
Yeah,
but as far as I know, it's just the van, like as if you drove the van as normal.
Okay,
type of thing. Because I was on the Fortnite shop, and all of these were in there right now.
Okay, nice to see Rocket League still trucking along.
Yeah,
doing their thing.
Very happy for them.
Let's see. In other IP news, we got a full trailer called Unfinished Business for RoboCop Rogue City. I can't wait to play this.
This is so exciting.
Super on my list. They're talking about how this. It looks like for anybody who doesn't remember, this is basically the Raid or Dread with RoboCop. And the idea from this trailer, at least, is that this OCP tower is like a place that has this tech that could potentially be used, or the Omni Tower, to control any OCP tech that's out there, which makes it kind of like a big deal for you to go in and take out.
Yeah.
And then it looks like whoever the villain for this is has some kind of background with Alex Murphy, and that's when you're going to flash back to non-RoboCop Alex Murphy.
Well, that's what I like about the idea of the story is it's not like, hey, you have a connection to RoboCop when he was RoboCop,
right?
Like the way the game was like, oh, I'm so and so's cousin or some shit.
Yeah,
it's like, no, I knew you when you were a cop, and I think that's so much more interesting.
Even though, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think there's a lot of room in the RoboCop timeline for Alex Murphy to have had. I guess this could be before he transferred. To Chicago.
There's plenty of times because he wasn't like a rookie cop when he showed up.
Right.
He was a fairly, that was the reason he got transferred to begin with, is he was an already exceptional cop. So the only way it could work is if it was before he got transferred.
Yeah.
Which is, I find interesting. That's a timeline that I don't think they've ever explored.
Yeah. Seeing something outside of Detroit. I said Chicago. Seeing something outside of Detroit would be interesting too, because I don't think we've seen a lot of other places. I don't know. Did RoboCop 3 go to Virginia or something?
No, it's all like, as far as I know, that even the comics are all just in this one area.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
So it'd be kind of nice to see if there's radically different hellscape metropolis and other places.
Honestly, the only time he's ever gone out of Detroit was the versus Terminator one. That's because he's in the future,
right?
And even then, I think it's still the post-apocalypse of Detroit.
Yeah. Anyway, I love RoboCop Rogue City, and I think everybody should play it. It looks great.
It's so good, and also the fact that they got Peter Weller for all of this is the reason it works for me.
Yep. July 17th is when that comes out.
Very exciting. You guys absolutely should buy that. And it's still free on PlayStation Plus at the moment. Last I checked.
Yeah. Speaking of first-person shooters, we also got the the official second trailer for Doom: The Dark Ages. I don't know if you saw this one, but it has a lot more story to it.
No, I didn't get a chance to see it.
Like, it kind of talks about the Celestials or whatever that made the Doomslayer and how they like put a leash on him and locked him, and then it's kind of this big like demon incursion, and they send him down. This is like, I think the idea here is this is, I think it was you were talking to me about this, where it's like all the logs that you find in Doom 2016, where it's like the demons being like, yes, the Doomslayer showed up and killed my whole family today.
Yeah.
Like, I get the impression that might be what this is like referring to. They kind of have this new enemy, this new kind of arch nemesis, this kind of Hellraiser looking motherfucker with some big demon horns. I don't know. This looks really good, and I really hope I'm not disappointed like I was with the last one.
Yeah, the last one I liked, but the problem it was just too fucking hard for no reason.
Yeah,
even the DLC was really hard for like no reason.
I didn't finish it.
I eventually did, and it ends like the actual story, which I was surprised by.
Yeah,
I figured you could make a whole nother sequel out of it, but they didn't. But you know, I was very interested because the logs you found throughout the first one were so interesting to me, and so I'm hoping that this plays a lot with that. I've heard that it's not going to be like, oh, then it ends before 2016 ends.
Right.
So I'm curious to see if they make a sequel to even this.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
It'd be interesting. I like the gameplay that I'm seeing, where it seems like a little bit more, I don't know. I hope that it's not that you have to do every enemy has a specific key, like an optimal strategy, and that you could just like, you know, if I've got a favorite gun, I want to use that gun. I don't want to have to switch over to the other gun because this guy requires this one thing. But I love the shield. I love the way it looks. I'm really hoping. That
the only other downside is we know that we're not going to get the same type of soundtrack because that falling out with him was super hard.
With Mick Gordon, yeah. Well, they fucked him. Like, they just refused to pay him. Like, but yeah, I don't know. Hopefully, this ends up being pretty good. It looks pretty cool. You could drive him back. You could ride a dragon. I don't know what else do you want out of the life. Like,
it's very exciting, to be honest.
It is really weird seeing the way that the Doomslayer like lore has become this weird medieval fantasy thing. When it was just like, I remember when it started, and it was just like, yep, you're a space marine, and the portals to hell open on Mars, and you got to go kill all these motherfuckers.
And the craziest thing is it all is one giant timeline, except for Doom 3 still.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, because the way the timeline works, apparently, because I actually looked into it, so I found out what it is. It's Doom 1, Doom 2, Doom 64, then it's going to be this game technically, and then Doom 2016, and then Doom was Eternal? Is that the name of it?
Yeah, Doom Eternal.
Yeah, that's the timeline of all the Dooms.
So
is because the idea is that the way Doom 64 ends is that he gets trapped somewhere and he goes into a portal, and whatever portal he goes into is how he ends up where he is before 2016 happens.
Okay.
That's why he's so crazy, because apparently he had just finished being on his murder rampage from Doom 64.
Okay. And then they turned him from the ultimate killing machine into the even more ultimate killing machine.
He went from like the craziest marine to like the most insane human being in the universe, apparently.
Okay.
So I think that's fascinating that's what happened.
Let's see. Oh boy. I put too many trailers in. We got the Painkiller weapons trailer. Shows a whole bunch of cool weapons. It looks pretty cool. Looks like a lot of, looks a lot like Doom, really.
Yeah, it actually looks really fun still.
So I'm kind of curious about this one. It's supposed to be like a co-op game, but I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to have to start cutting stuff.
I knew we would end up making this last longer.
FBC Firebreak got a full-on, it's called the Hazards of the Job trailer. This one shows a little bit more, a few other things like the furnace and kind of this pink slime mission, and it's kind of got a narrative talking about like them naming themselves and all their stuff. I really do hope that this game manages to, I hope it's fun.
Yes.
Like, that's what I really want. I want it to be fun. So
I want it to be fun, and I want to get something out of it that is like, that expands the world in some way, even if it's like logs or something in some way.
Yeah.
And if it does, then I'm just going to read it probably. I don't mean that as I'm not going to play the game. More as like if there's too much that I'd have to do to get to them, then I might just like watch something for
My hope is that this ends up being like a nice co-op game full of chill people and not just like one of these internet meta bullshit type of games.
Or maybe, we can get some people in Discord to help us with it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Let's see. From there, we got the launch trailer for Claire Obscure Expedition 33.
This game
out
is
now.
fascinating, though.
Yep. What's interesting about this one is it's got a lot more like cutscenes showing a lot of different stuff that I hadn't seen before of like, it's kind of a love interest, a much more grizzled, not Robert Pattinson guy.
Yeah, I could have sworn he looked different than that.
Sometimes he looks like Robert Pattinson. Sometimes he doesn't. Like, sometimes he looks a little bit more. Sometimes he looks a little bit less. I'm interested in this. It's got it's been getting really good scores.
Yeah, it's been getting like 9s and 10s all over the place.
Yeah. So I'm interested. It's out, but we're recording this, but we're recording the dojo a little bit later. So, but
I love that it's an RPG that isn't a Japanese one for the first time.
Yep.
And by RPG, I mean like a turn-based one.
Yeah.
And it looks amazing.
Yeah. It's got a lot going on. The only thing I worry about is the Unreal Engine 5
That's true.
curse of it, but I don't know.
I hope that the turn-basedness of it will make it easier on the engine.
Hopefully. We can skip that one till later. We got a trailer for No Rest for the Wicked, The Breach, that big expansion that's coming out.
Oh, yeah.
This game still looks absolutely incredible. I still think that I just want to wait until it's finally out.
I would say you should, just because they're going to change so much, I feel, by the time it's done.
Yep.
That you're going to have to get used to new mechanics over and over again.
I keep wanting to play Hades 2, and I keep going, no, it's going to be out this year sometime. Just wait for it, Jeff. Wait for it.
That's why you should play that one that we played with the card people or whatever.
Card people?
You remember that one that we did?
Which one?
It was like Hades, but
but
she had like a lance.
the punk rock lady with the lance.
Yeah, you should do that one.
Yeah,
to keep yourself tied.
I got plenty of games waiting around.
That was pretty cool though. If you guys, I don't remember the name of it either, but you guys should look into it.
April 30th is when No Rest for the Wicked, The Breach comes out. So if you're playing, you can get your updates. Let's see. Tempest Rising launched last week. I don't know where to put it in the schedule, Michael.
I forgot about this.
Apparently it's amazing.
Really?
Apparently it's just like a total fucking throwback. It's got basically a GDI campaign and a Nod campaign. It's got like a heavy metal soundtrack. The Nod section has like flamethrower tanks and like weirdo bullshit. The GDI section has like Marines and stuff. It's got like fake Unreal Engine briefings like they used to, where the guy is talking directly to you. It's like, listen up, Commander. Apparently they've got like loading screens where like it looks like the old CNC loading screens, like the Nod ones are real lo-fi and they look like they're on like a Commodore 64, and like the GDI ones are real flashy and shit.
I love that.
And
good for them.
It's got 2 full single player campaigns. It's got multiplayer. It's got skirmishes. It's got all kinds of different stuff. And apparently it's amazing and it runs really well. I don't even know where to put it. I bought it to just look at it, and I was like, I don't know where to put it on the schedule. Fuck.
I'm sure you'll find something.
So,
and hopefully it will not be me.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, like, I'm hyped by it, but this isn't the sort of game that it makes for the most fun commentary. So
yeah, but I always end up being the one who does it.
Yeah, true. Well, a game that you might be interested in, we got the Delivering Destruction trailer for Deliver at All Costs.
Oh yeah, this one.
Yeah, this one is just focused on like horrific amounts of destruction, like just knocking over buildings and crashing into cars and knocking over people and just going fucking berserk with cars. It looks great.
It looks amazing.
It looks so cool, and I really like it. I even like the fact that there's a part where there's riding a bike and just knocks over a person. So I played the demo for this, and it seemed really interesting.
I feel like I got this and the mascot one mixed up at one point.
Oh,
that might be why I thought it was like you taking the mascot guy there.
Yeah, no, this is
because I keep seeing a truck, and that's probably why I thought that.
Entirely different. This all takes place in like the 1950s. So
yeah, it looks amazing though.
I think it looks great. That's great. Like this trailer ends with just like a pair of boardroom doors, and like the truck comes busting into just like a room.
God, that looks like fun.
It looks like a lot of fun, and it's coming out May 22nd. It's coming out next month.
That's right. It's Konami. I forgot about that.
Yep.
So I remember that was the reason it caught us so off guard.
Published by Konami. Let's see. We got the launch trailer for Bionic Bay. This is another one that I've got. It's got really good reviews that I just don't know really where to put.
Yeah.
Where it's like this kind of silhouetted. It kind of looks like a little bit like Limbo, but you're kind of jumping out on top of all this like technology and stuff. But you have like a bunch of different powers. You can like rotate the world. You can slow down time. You can swap yourself with like objects in the world in order to like get through puzzles and stuff. I am getting a little bit of like a kind of a Meat Boy vibe off of it, where there's going to be a lot of death. So I'm not sure if it's something that would be interesting, but it's getting really good reviews online. So
yeah, that's really cool though.
Yep, came out last week. Let's see. And then let's wrap it up. I still got 3 more trailers in here. Subnautica 2 has a Road to Early Access developer update. There's not a lot to this. They showed off some of the new environs, which was kind of cool. They showed off a little bit of co-op, just like very, very briefly. Some of the building stuff that's in there. I think probably the most exciting thing that they showed off was a new vehicle, like a single person submersible.
Okay.
That I don't think we'd seen anything like that before. I really like the submersibles in Subnautica because since the world is so hostile, it's like it's your little home base.
It's so much better than just swimming everywhere kind of thing.
Yep.
After a while.
Below Zero had like a train you could make.
Really?
So you made like the front, and then you would add modules to it. So you ended up kind of like driving this like little sea train around.
That's really cool, actually. Big old base.
Yep. So yeah, that's coming into early access at some point this year. They're still kind of ramping up for it, but should be able to play it at some point. We also got the news that apparently Switch Online got Fire Emblem: The Sacred Stones, which was a Game Boy Advance Fire Emblem game.
Interesting.
That's been kind of in limbo. So big news for anybody who wants to relive the Game Boy Advance glory days. Buy your Ambernick. Or wait, no, you don't want to do it that way. Buy your Switch 2 if you can, and if not, I don't know. Maybe then get an Ambernick.
If you still can.
If you still can. And then we also got.
I heard about this.
A really big a release date announcement and like 12-minute trailer for the new Super Robot Wars. So many franchises. Like
there's a $120 version of this game.
Raiden the Brave. There's so many Gundams. Combattler V. It's got Witch from Mercury is in here. I'm pretty sure that Gundam Wing is back in here.
Super Robot Wars is like one of the ultimate like fanboy things if you like mechs in general.
Zeta Gundam, just like G Gundam.
Hell yeah.
Endless Waltz is in there. Fucking like
Seed, yeah.
I don't even know.
Mazinger is what I want to say was called.
Yep. I think that's Mazin Kaiser.
Oh, okay.
Is in here.
That's Mazinger then.
One of the things that I was I forgot now because my brain is being
I remember
overloaded. Getter Robo, Macross. They've got some Macross stuff in here. There's Witch from Mercury. God, what's it called? That one franchise that I liked. These guys. Dynazenon.
Yeah.
Dynazenon is in here.
Gridman thing.
And I was like, yay, I love that show. I still don't know, because I didn't ever watch SSS Gridman, but I like Dynazenon a lot. So
yeah, the Super Robot Wars series is a series I have had friends play a lot over the years, and they've had to like download different
like fan translations
for them because they're so many fucking characters in these things.
Oh yeah, Jet Jaguar from Godzilla Singular Point is in here,
which is really cool.
It's like okay,
and if you guys love mech games, you absolutely have to buy it. And also, like I said, the reason there's a version that's called the reason there's a version that's $120 is because that's how you get all the licensed music.
Oh,
and this is and you're gonna be like, oh, that's a lot of money. Here's the thing: every single Super Robot Wars game, including a bunch of other. Actually, every anime game in Japan that has mechs for some reason, even the Gundam Versus ones, had a version that was super expensive, so you could get the licensed music in them.
Yeah.
So this is just one of the rare times that we get that version in America, because even when they came out with, I think the Gundam Versus ones that we got, we didn't have that option. But now we do, because they're like, look, you guys, you want this shit? Pay the money for it.
Right.
So if you want that, like, and if you love these series, that's the best way of playing it, because it'll actually play the songs for that robot in the game for it.
Nice. And then big surprise, Michael. At the end of this trailer, they showed off all this stuff. And then, also Godzilla.
Which is actually really cool.
Godzilla Ultima.
I did not expect that.
Is.
He's that Netflix show, Godzilla.
Oh, the big one. The big one.
No, it's not the mountain one. It's the one that's from that.
Oh, Singular Point?
From that Singular Point one.
Okay.
That's why he looks like that.
Okay.
Oh, that would be great, though, if they added that gigantic ass one.
They got to do a fucking charge counterattack. Everybody's got to team up.
That would be fucking cool.
Push him off the earth.
No, yeah, that's the one that goes from the whale to that version of him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
August 28th.
I guess it's the tie-in to that Jet Jaguar.
Oh, and they also have DLCs, bonus mission pack.
Yeah, they usually get a lot of DLCs nowadays. So
yeah,
I'm very happy that we're getting that. Japan finally was like, oh, there's a bunch of nerds who will pay money for this shit.
Yeah,
and we don't have to we don't have to pay. That was one of the reasons they didn't do it, is because back in the day people wanted dubs for everything. But they're like, we don't have to pay for dubs anymore. Nobody gives a shit about that anymore. So we just have to give them translations, and that's it.
Yep,
it saves them a ton of money.
Yeah. All right, some release date stuff. Star Wars Outlaws is getting another DLC called A Pirate's Fortune. This is the second one coming out May 15th.
Oh, okay.
This will probably also coincide with, it's pretty close to the Switch 2 launch, which is also going to have this on it.
I forgot that was happening.
Yeah. I mean, that's the beginning of June, right? But give it a little time for the people who already bought the season pass.
It's on sale constantly, too, by the way, guys, so...
FBC Firebreak has a release date as well, which was where the fuck was it? June 17th.
Oh,
it's going to be $40. It's also going to have it's going to be on Game Pass and PS Plus, and then also it appears it's going to have a Helldivers 2 style kind of battle pass earning system of unlocking stuff.
Oh, that's fun.
So,
Helldivers 2 really gave a lot of people great ideas.
EA College Football 26 has a release date for you sports fans. I don't know why you're listening, but July 10th. And apparently it's going to be the first time that it's skipping the old consoles. So just PS5, Xbox, Series X, and PC. So,
well, it says it's skipping PC.
Oh, is it? No, it's skipping PC. Skipping PC.
I don't really know. I don't see college football fans being PC players. Yeah. That sounds mean, but I don't see it happening.
They said there's a Switch. No, wait, that's a different one. Anyway.
Oh, it says they're working on a Switch 2 version for Madden.
Yeah.
Okay.
The trailer for this, Lords of the Fallen got a big, huge update patch. Lords of the reboot one.
I forgot about that.
They redid everything. They redid a shitload of stuff. They put in like a dedicated jump button. They redid the way that the leveling works. They redid the tutorial. They redid a lot of stuff. And there's a friend pass ability where you can invite people into your game and they don't have to own it. Only you have to own it.
Oh, wow.
And they get to keep all the experience and story progressions they get from playing in your game. So they're encouraging people to like not just co-op bosses, but co-op the actual game itself.
And that would make them be like, well, maybe I should just buy the game kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's a good marketing move.
Yep. So, the next game from Lucas Pope, Papers, Please, Into the Breach, FTL, or wait, is a Playdate game.
That's interesting.
And not just any Playdate game, but it's a very simple Playdate game. Like you just use the crank to turn. It's kind of like Tempest. Like it reminds me a little bit of like Tempest.
I could see it.
Where you're shooting from like the middle in a circle, and then you're using the crank to aim, and you have different like power ups and stuff.
Looks like John's got a new game to play.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, John's like the only person we know who has one of these things.
True. I want one, but I don't want to spend $230 on it.
I was surprised he got one. I was like, oh, shit. Of all the people who got one, I was not expecting John to be the guy who got it.
Repo's got some new stuff coming, which is interesting. The thing I think is the most interesting is they're giving the little guys like expressions.
Oh, that's fun.
So like they have a little thing where they show like
angry.
Different, like their eyes are basically just doing different things, and I kind of love it. They were kind of real silly looking goobers anyway, but they look kind of crazy now. So
it's a great idea.
Yeah. They're also having some server stuff that's going to make the game easier to get into co-op, et cetera, et cetera. So check that out.
Remember, this is a PC only game. If you guys see that weird PlayStation knockoff. Do not buy that thing.
Oh, is that a knockoff?
There's a knockoff on the PlayStation right now.
Okay.
It's called like Repo something.
Oh.
And like everybody's like, do not fucking buy that thing. It is another one of those like weird, like, we made a game that's clearly not this game, but but it makes you think it is. So yeah.
Let's see. Marvel Rivals knows where the money comes from because apparently they're gearing up to do Marvel swimsuit skins for the characters.
Oh my goodness.
Because of course they are. And Marvel actually has like some canonical, because they have their swimsuit edition.
Do you think we'll see the Punishers?
I don't know.
A Punisher, like one of the skimpiest ones, if I remember.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird.
As I understand it, I think that Marvel's always been known for, like, you know, they put a lot of skimpy bikinis on the ladies, but also they put a lot of skimpy things on the dudes as well. Like,
yeah, there's actually quite a few of the swimsuit issues, if you guys are curious, that you can find. They've been, I think they're making a new one now, actually.
Yeah, I think that's supposed to coincide with the release of
I think
that
that's what these
June.
images are from, if you guys are curious.
Oh, these? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I think those are from the teasers for the new ones.
Come on, Jean Grey. Don't put the Phoenix Force on your ass. Give it a little bit more respect than that. Speaking of asses, Michael Bay apparently is going to be making an Outrun movie with Sydney Sweeney.
So weird.
Okay, I can see it. Michael Bay, Fast and Furious, all of the things. He likes the cars. He likes those, like, you know, low angles and stuff.
That's fair.
Put
actually.
Sydney Sweeney in a top where you can see the top of her boobage. You get fucking Shia LaBeouf to make some dumb jokes or something. I could see it. I could see it happening.
I could see it. Yeah,
but
a lot of game development, or a lot of movies getting game developments.
Yep.
Something like that.
And then let's wrap it up with a few fun mods. First off, somebody, okay, this is kind of a quotey fingers. Like somebody kind of made Doom in a QR code.
How the hell did you do that?
It's not really Doom. It's called the back Dooms. What it looks like is this. Like it looks like a bunch of like these like red guys, and you're kind of in this infinite maze.
Okay.
But the thing is that when I say it's in a QR code, it's not like the QR code leads there. It's all the information to play the game is contained in that one QR code.
That's weird.
So this whole game runs off of the code that is contained in this kind of, it looks like, I don't know, what, 8 to 12 QR codes all pasted together.
Yeah, it's a lot of QR codes jammed together.
But apparently it's like, what do they say in this article? It's like it's 3 kilobytes of data. They could not run the actual Doom, like just weapon models in Dooms are like 1 kilobyte.
Yeah,
so
it wouldn't work. Yeah.
So they had to kind of come up with a way to do it. But this is a fully functional first-person shooter game in an infinite maze with one enemy type, one attack type, and like you have a hit point bar and stuff. So
that's fun.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
Maybe one of these days they'll get actual Doom on it. they're working on it.
And last but not least, so I found out about this. I don't know if you've ever known about this, Michael.
No, I do not.
There is a mod for Doom. There's a level for Doom that's called Okuplock. It is supposedly the hardest of all time because it is just fields of enemies.
Oh my goodness.
Just like, here is so many cyber demons that you can't see the other side. Here are so many demons that you can't, like, a BFG shot won't even kill them all.
Damn.
So it's kind of become like a challenge, right?
Yeah.
People have beat it on Hurt Me Plenty. No, on what's the one below Hurt Me Plenty?
I actually don't remember what they are.
Whatever the one below that is.
Yeah.
And they've done it in segments as speed runs because it is estimated that if you played if you just played it straight forward, it would take you a long time. Now they did the math, and because like you see the pinkies down there, right?
Yeah.
Like they realized that moving from that difficulty up to Hurt Me Plenty would make it 8x harder. And the thing is that because later on in the game, you end up in these areas, especially with enemies that can shoot.
Yeah.
That one errant bullet. Like, first off, you have to do a lot of getting enemies to shoot each other because you just simply do not have enough ammo for the number of enemies that are in this map. Second, on that higher difficulty level, you are looking at a scenario where one errant shot could kill your run.
Yeah.
And that like it would be several hours into the run, because to do this whole thing would take hours and hours and hours. Like you see the number of fucking skeleton guys and stuff in here. One streamer did it.
Oh my God, really?
It took 6 hours.
Fuck.
Streamed for 6 hours. And by the end, it was like at any point he could have gotten one-shotted because of just the sheer number of projectiles.
Yeah, he's like hiding because there's so much shit flying at him at once.
Flying across this map of just like trying to get enemies to hit each other, trying to get enemies to shoot each other, trying to conserve ammo, trying to conserve health and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's cyber demons just launching shit at him.
Yeah. And this isn't even the whole thing. This is a lower difficulty run.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, but he did it. And it's kind of amazing. I can't imagine playing any level of a game for 6 hours straight.
Fuck no. That's terrifying.
Yep. Oh no, wait. The guy's name is Akuplok.
Slaughter map is what they call
Slaughter map,
which makes sense because they're fucking everywhere.
Yeah. Or I don't know. Anyway, go check it out. It's online. Oh no, his name is Coincident. This is called Akuplok.
Okay.
So yeah, go check it out. It's like kind of nuts. Like only in Doom could you put this many enemies and it would be fine.
Yeah.
Because the enemies are like 1 kilobyte a piece, right? So but you end up with some just fucking I mean, you end up in places where there's so many imps next to each other and they're trying to fire at you that they can only hit each other.
Yeah.
Right? Instead of being able to actually get past to fire at you.
Most of them are like just going to kill everyone in front of them.
Right.
Up to a certain point.
It's kind of
crazy.
It's kind of nuts. It's
It's like slowing down this fucking guy's computer because there's so many things.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
With that, we're done. That's the RageSelect podcast. I hope you all have enjoyed it. If you did, you can go to patreon.com/RageSelect. It can help us out. Kick some bucks, get some bonus videos. Michael, where can the fine people of the internet find you when you're not over here helping me complain about the Switch 2 yet again?
You can find me on oneofs.net. We do a lot of movie television reviews. You can also sometimes find me on YouTube under Super Maniacs. It's a Superman podcast I do sometimes.
Yep. Links down below. Go check it out. And then, I don't know, man, like, buy a Switch 2, don't buy a Switch 2. I don't even know what to recommend at this point. Who knows?